SIDS, we are all universally connected. The quest is to find your own truth while being in service to the Supreme. This society covers our innate genius, where in truth we are all like the sun. Once we start owning our position like the sun and serve our Creator with love and devotion, the planets will align around us. People, resources, and opportunities. When we are sun-like, that when we can create more stars. Our students are the stars. They are the ones that drive us to do more, be more, and grow more.
The hackathon is a journey into the space within and without. 9 missions designed to make you like the sun. To design and launch your own universe, to make a difference in this world. In a world where there's so much of polarity and duality, we need more leaders. We need more teachers and mentors who are sun-like, who can help others who are in the dark.
May our knowledge shine, dispel all the darkness, and help every human to live their truth.
Welcome to Hackathon Quarter 2. Great to have all of you here on time, before time. And if you're excited, type the word excited in the chat box. I'm super excited. This is the start of the next hackathon. In fact, this is our 28th cycle of the hackathon since we started in 2020. It's already 5 years. It's the 5th year of doing hackathons. More than 15,000 people have gone through this. And every single 1 crore champion, 10 crore champion in this community started their journey here, just like how you're going to go through this journey. And the best part is I've kept evolving this hackathon from time to time. And this time we're going to go at blitz fast speed. Of course, I'm going to go slow when I have to. I want all of you to soak in, reflect on every single step of this hackathon. And I've designed the missions also in such a way where even if you're brand new, you're starting from scratch, I'm going to walk you through. I'm going to virtually hold your hand and just take you from one step to the other. Okay. Now, the only commitment that I need from you here is I need your 100% focus. I need your 100% presence and 100% action taking. No excuses. Okay. So how many of you here are ready for this game? Type game on in the chat box, because this has created more success stories than anything else that we've done before. Okay. Like FBRs are great for inspiration. My courses are good for, you take action on the go, do it yourself. But the hackathon is where actual implementation happens. Okay, otherwise life takes over. Everybody goes for they start something, then life takes over and they're not able to finish it. So in every hackathon, we've had kind of like a 10 to 20% finishing rate. So if 1,000 people start the hackathon, 200 people finish. Or last time I think I had a little lesser than 1,000, so we had around 100 something, 135, 140 people who actually became finishers. And this time again, the intention I'm setting is I want to make it simpler. I want to make it easier. I want all of you to just do a BIFA, brain in the freezer action. And I just wanted to develop, on its own using my codexes. So by the end of this hackathon, the intent is what? You should have a world-class product. You should have worked on yourself. You should have built your influence and gotten comfortable looking into the camera, speaking, recording videos. And also we're going to put you into teams this time. And like last time we had paid teams. I thought it'll work, but it did not work. Meaning I thought it will make a difference in the finishing rate. Did not. So we're going to go back to free teams this time. So all of you just type yay in the chat box, Y-A-Y in the chat box. Okay. So last time I thought, okay, let's collect a token amount as a deposit and see if it really works out. But no, we're going to go back to free teams and we're going to notch up the team system this time. And we're going to have more number of people in teams this time. And we're going to be bringing everybody into our, I'll keep it as a surprise. Okay. So we're going to do something new this time in teams. So I want to check how many of you are going to be doing this hackathon for the first time and you're going to become freedom finisher this time. Just type FTFF. First time freedom finisher. That means this is your first time you're going to be on this hackathon and you're setting the intention that this is going to be the last time you're going to do the hackathon by not being a finisher. I don't want to come back the next hackathon to become a finisher. Okay. I know many people are coming back to do it. So thank you so much. I see many of you are in that zone. How many of you in this room are coming back to the hackathon this time, but this time is freedom finisher? Just type TTFF. This time freedom finisher. Yeah, you probably did last hackathon, but you could not finish it for whatever reason. And now you're coming back this time freedom finisher. Very good, very good. And I think all of you already know freedom finisher means that you're actually starting the journey. You're opening the shop or business, you're launching your funnel, and you're actually building yourself towards that. Very nice. And I want to find out how many of you here are already freedom finisher and you're back. Just type FFB in the chat box. You're freedom finisher and you're back. Yeah. Lovely, lovely. Good to know. We have many freedom finishers who come back because they just want to soak into the energy. And because I'm always improving the hackathon. It's not the same. Like there's a 28th edition of the hackathon and there's always some tweak, some improvement in the whole thing. So I want all of the people to come back. Now, how many of you here in this room are already Hall of Fame? Just type HOF in the chat box. Already Hall of Fame achievers. You're already in the room. You're coming back for more. Yeah, you're coming back to just soak into the energy, soak into the learning implementation. Very nice. So all of you can see that, right? People have already achieved Hall of Fame. They're coming back to hackathon just to soak in. Even though they don't have to pursue that certificate of freedom finisher, they're just coming back to sharpen their skills a little bit more. Okay. Now, how many of you crore champions in the room? Just type CC in the chat box. Whether you're 1 crore or 10 crore champion, just type CC. Any crore champions in the room? Yeah. Thank you so much. So many of you crore champions. Fantastic. Yeah, we have quite a few crore champions. So thank you for coming back. And again, they don't need to do this hackathon, but they're doing it because they're sharpening their skills. Okay. So that's the game, guys. I want to thank all of you for being here on time, before time. And we're going to have a lot of fun. And this time in the hackathon, we're going to go a little bit faster because we had the FBR last month and we have like the Game of Change movie coming next week, everything else. So we're going to go 3 missions in one go in this week itself. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we're going to go 3 missions. So a lot of batting to do. So this month, 6 missions will get completed out of the 9. So pretty much you just need to focus on the last 3 missions and complete the hackathon. So you have 60 days to complete this hackathon. So I'm waiting to see how many of you are going to be intensifying this and making it happen this time. Okay. So, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And as I said, I'm going to keep it really simple. So before I start, I want to find out what is your intention of starting this hackathon? I know to become a finisher, all of that stuff, but is there something else that is deep core to you? All of you can just share in the chat box. What is your deeper intention? Yeah. I want all of you to maybe close your eyes, think about it, and set the sankalpa or the intention. Like normally before we start something, we like to set the intention. The intention is to finish. The intention is to become Hall of Fame, to achieve those numbers. But is there something else that's deeper? A rich life, massive action, to build community. Excellent. To get started, to serve your community, to accelerate. Nice. To implement then my model to the T. Some of you are looking, taking bits and pieces from all over the place. Now probably you want to come back and just put the blinders and just implement this. Yeah. Purpose, sharpen your skills, make your parents proud. Yeah, those are the kind of things I want to see. Like launching is fine, but there has to be an emotional reason behind it. Serve community, make a big impact. And I'd like every one of you to type in the chat box. I know some of you are just sitting like this, you're just watching the chats, you're seeing it scroll. No, not in a hackathon. Hackathon, I need your commitment, at every stage. I need your energy at every step of this. Okay, thank you. Brilliant. And I tell you, my intention is very simple, is I want all of us here to really uplift society. The society is going through all kinds of challenges. As it may seem like too high up in the air kind of a vision, but when I was doing an evaluation, those of you that are in FBR, just the top 30, 50 of us that I was able to audit are already reaching out to 3.5 lakh people. Now, if you're looking at the entire community over here, imagine we can reach out to millions of people and shift the way they think, shift the way they operate, just lift everybody up, okay, pull everyone up. And as you're pulling others up, you're getting pulled up by others in the community. You're already a few steps ahead. So let's work together as one force. Okay, so yeah, let's all level up our game. Let's all rise together. Let's all grow together. So my intention is that. Okay, so we're all one in spirit, and let's really expand. Okay, so all of you type the word expansion in the chat box. Let's all expand ourselves in our thoughts, in our words, in our actions, in our results, and let's set that as an intention. Okay, expansion. So let's get into it. Let's get down to business. So if you look at the way that I've designed the hackathon, I'm going to be calling it hackathon 9.1 because I'm going to make a small tweak to the hackathon as we go. Probably after one more round, it'll go to hackathon 10. Okay, so what's this game all about? Okay, let me check. I want to run one poll at this point, and this poll, I know many of you have answered the question, but still, let me do it once more. Which hackathon is this for you? First, second, 3+. So what I'm seeing in the background here, I'm going to tell you, okay, is a poll. 35% of this room are 3+. Okay, all of you just type awesome in the chat box. That means you're coming back for, 35% of the room. We're going to be touching more than 700 people right now. We'll be hitting 1,000 very soon. Okay, so look at that. 35% of this room, you're coming back. So 70%, that's 70% of the room. 20% are second timers, and a good 46 to 48, 50% of this room, you are here for the first time. Okay, so 50% of this room, you're here for the first time, right? First hackathon. This is going to be your last hackathon by not being a freedom finisher. Okay, so my challenge to you here is finish this. Okay, challenge accepted. All of you just type CA in the chat box. Like, I don't want this to be a hackathon where you start with excitement, then you go back to life, and then you come back somewhere in between, and you're like, okay, let me do it next time. That's usually the pattern. And those of you who have been through this pattern before, you got to bust that pattern right now because we are compressing it right now to 60 days. Okay, thank you so much. So let's do it. So the game, how does it go? Number one is that the core is to be sun-like and create more stars by living your truth. So that's the whole theme video of this hackathon. I'm still riding on Blair's message of being sun-like, and in FBR, he shared a beautiful example of the life cycle of the sun. Okay, the goal is to become freedom finisher within 60 days. So we have done a small tweak this time, right? And to earn 3 lakhs in total revenue before FBR. Okay, before FCR, which is going to happen in October. So you have 5 months. Okay, so how many of you here in this room are going to be taking this up as a challenge where no matter what, you're going to be going out there and achieving this 3 lakh rupee milestone within 5 months? Type me in the chat box, a lot of exclamation marks. I know many people who are here in this community. They've been attending these hackathons, they've been attending my sessions. I know you've been loving the whole community engagement, support, care, and all of the, being in the community, but you've still not launched your course. You've still not launched your ads. You've still not launched your funnel. So I want you guys to step up your game right now. No, just getting high on the feel good factor of these training sessions. Okay, I want to be that kind of a coach in this hackathon where I'm saying, okay, launch, sell, earn. Okay, want you to earn that money in whatever way, one-to-one, one-to-many, whatever it takes to go out there and ask for the sale. Okay, give your offer, and this is going to be somebody who'll be buying your product. Okay. Number 3 is the themes of this entire hackathon is divided into 3 parts. The first 3 missions are all about planning. The next 3 missions is all about launching, and the last 3 missions are all about growing. Okay, so plan, launch, and grow. All of you just type PLG in the chat box. Yeah, and then number 4, the reward. So every single person who finishes the hackathon, you're going to get a 2,000 rupee voucher, a T-shirt, and a certificate on which it'll be written, with the T-shirt on which it'll be written I'm a finisher, and a certificate with your name on it. Okay, so this will be coming to you. And last time we had different teams, paid teams, non-paid teams, all of that stuff. So this time we're going to keep it straightforward. Number 5 is the criteria for becoming a freedom finisher. As I said, I'm going to keep it really simple. Number 1 is all of your codexes need to be put into a Word document. Okay, so I'll just make that change over here. Like I put into a Word doc. except this mission. So the first mission is where I'll be making all of you go through a personal codex where you need to enter your personal data, your personal aspirations, personal goals. That is something I don't want you to share. That's very personal to you. But from the next mission onwards, all of your codexes, like whatever you generate on ChatGPT, take the best portions of that and put that into a codex. Okay, put that into a Word document. Or I'll just put this Google Google Sheet. Okay, I'll just call it Google Sheet. And then at the end of this hackathon, you just need to share your Google Sheets with that respective codex. All of you clear? Type clear in the chat box. Last time I had a dashboard and many things. I think it was a little confusing for some of you, so I'm going to remove the dashboard this time. I'm going to keep it very simple. Okay. 2 is you need to have a lead magnet, and the lead magnet is you need to have set up your webinar registration page, your one-page website, where people can link and register on your website. And I'm going to help you set this up on TagMango on the free version itself. So it's going to happen like you'll be setting this up within 30 minutes. Okay. Number 3 is your one-page website. The lead magnet is your actual registration system, and the website is your one-page website linking to the lead magnet, which is easy to do. The most difficult part for most people are the courses. So the qualification criteria for this is 3. You need to launch 1 course and 3 bonuses. So I have my 3-day course, which is the Freedom Business Model course, and then I have many bonuses, right? So your level 1 product, which is going to be a 5 to 10,000 rupee product, can comprise of a 3-day course and 3 bonuses. Okay, if you want to do more bonuses, you can. And we're going to be doing a course creation challenge on one of the Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., where we will all together as a group, we will record that entire L1 course. Okay, so the entire thing is going to happen. Number 5 is webinar. You just need to have your Zoom registration page link for your webinar. You can even do a meeting format in the beginning, but that's the thing to start. So if this is simple, all of you just type simple in the chat. It is simple, but it's not easy. Okay, you got to put in the effort to do it, but the checklist is simple. Your strategy is all there in the codexes. Your website is where you're going to be driving your traffic to, what you're going to be creating, and your course and webinar. And it is not in the criteria, but one thing that I expect from every one of you here in this hackathon is I want you to create one piece of content every alternate day at least. Like if it's a reel or a video, just take your phone, shoot something valuable for your audience, and start building your influence and start building a small community, whether it's a WhatsApp community or a Telegram community, or even if now that we have it on TagMango as a community, start building an audience. Okay, and I'll go more into this in depth later. Even though it's not a part of the criteria, I want to make sure that everyone is creating something, creating content and putting it out there. Okay, so can I have a commitment from all of you that you will create videos and create reels to start building your influence? Type yes in the chat box. Even if you've never done videos before, you're still, and I'm so glad we had the ads and reels challenge. Those of you who have done the ads and reels challenge, you'll have a full bank of videos for the month, which you can actually get done. So those of you who have not done the ads and reels challenge, we'll be having another segment where in 5 hours, we'll be creating 15 reels and 3 ads. Okay, and I'll be making you do it as a group, and we'll have a lot of fun doing that. And besides that, what we'll be doing is we'll be having celebration. So 4th of July, we're going to have the celebration. We'll have our graduation day, which is falling on a Friday. All of you can note down this date at 8 p.m. That's the day we're going to have graduation. So which means that from 20th of June till 30th of June will be the day you need to submit your application for setting up all of this. Okay, the application for the Freedom Finisher. And October 27, 28, we have the Freedom Champions Retreat and all the Hall of Fame achievers. You can come there. We're going to celebrate another Hall of Fame at that point of time. Okay. So if all of you are clear on the celebrations, type clear in the chat box. And of course, we'll be celebrating in between also. Like every time you finish a mission, you're going to be a part of a team. Small wins, big wins. Just keep the momentum on. Finally, number 7 is the rules. Is it okay if I can be a tough coach for you guys? Yeah, a tough love coach. Type BIO in the chat box. Thank you. Number 1 is I want all of you to promise and commit to attending the missions live. You can give all the excuses, okay, that I can't do this, I have some meeting, I'm traveling, I'm doing this or doing that. All I'm asking you is these 9 missions, 9 days. The way you intensify these 9 days is going to probably take you for the next 9 months. Your growth that you'll experience the next 9 months is how you intensify these 9 days. And those of you already finished your hackathon, be there in all the missions, come and attend this, refine your game, take 1 or 2 ideas, go and put that back into a funnel and just get those sales coming in. Okay. 2, I want all of you to be ready 15 minutes before start. As you know, I start all my calls 15 minutes before time. I'll play some music in the background and all of that stuff. So I don't want any of you to stroll in after the session has started. And I know many of you have strolled in after the session has started. Quite a few of you here. So those of you who strolled in after the session started, can I have a commitment from all of you that you will be ready on your desk, on your laptop 15 minutes before start. Type yes in the chat. Type yes boss in the chat box. Type yes boss. And because how you do one thing is how you do everything. Like if you're just strolling in, you're taking it casually, then you're going to take your business casually, and then your customers will take you casually. Don't do that. Okay. I can't see you. I can't hold you accountable standing next to you, but I know that you have a conscience and you'll follow this. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, let's follow that. And I'll tell you, this is the kind of commitment that even when you're building your communities, especially in sessions like this, like hackathons, and you're putting them through a challenge, you really need to get them serious about it. Otherwise, anybody can come check it out for some time and then leave and go and stuff. I don't want. And if you're not sure about completing the hackathon, I would suggest that you leave right now. Okay, come back after 2 months in the next hackathon when you feel that you're ready for this. Okay, but be ready 15 minutes before start on all the calls. Number 3. Complete all the assignments on time, because I'm going to give you a super hack. The hack is when I finish one mission of the hackathon, if you just finish those tasks without procrastinating within 48 hours, you'll easily become a finisher within 48 hours. In fact, 24 is better, but I'm giving you 48 hours. Okay. So have all of you, how many of you here are going to be taking this to heart and actually putting that into action? Type me in the chat box. So today I'm going to give you a task. you will do it. Some people will do it, some people will not do it. Those of you who will not do it, you only have 48 hours. In 48 hours, you got to finish it. Okay. Thank you. Number 4 is never abandon your team. So last time we had this in hackathon. In the first mission, everybody's excited. They'll fill the form. They'll want to be a part of the team. And then after that, they go absconding afterwards. Okay. So it's been a pattern. It happens. Life happens. But I'm going to give a form where all of you are going to be filling it to be a part of a team. Please only fill that form if you're going to be 100% present with your teams. That means when the team captains call you, you need to be there for the call. Okay. Sometimes you may be traveling, whatever, but you need to be responsive in the group where we're going to be putting you as a part of the team. So never abandon your team, because when you work together as a team, that's where the fun is. In fact, many people, they come for the hackathon just to have fun with the team. When I say have fun is when they're taking action together, the energy is different as compared to doing it on your own. Okay. So never abandon your team. Number 5 is implement with speed. The opposite of this is getting ready to get ready. Let me first get my haircut. Let me go and buy my camera first, and then let me do this. So all of these things are excuses. Okay. There's never going to be a perfect moment. The perfect moment is right now. You can always improve it as you start. So all of you just type BIFA. Just bring in the freezer action. Okay. If you want to experiment or try something of your own, please do it later. But in this hackathon, the way I've designed it is, I know that this is going to get you results. I know that this is going to be the fastest path for you to achieve your goals, whatever goals that you want. And sometimes your logical mind will start kicking in, saying that, okay, let me first do this, and then I'll do it, or maybe I'll do this later, I'll do this first. I'm going to give you the recipe and the sequence of what has to be done, and the way the hackathon has been designed is all sequential. So just go with the pace, take action, and you'll get the results. Okay. And finally, number 6 is strictly no self-promotions allowed. Sometimes we've had people in hackathons who come and say, they'll come to another member and say, I'll help you become a freedom finisher, pay me some 20,000-30,000 rupees, I'll set it all up for you, all of the stuff. Please don't entertain any of that. Let Nina Punjabi know. Nina is our community manager. And in fact, before you let her know, tell anybody like that, say that no promotions allowed. Okay. It now rarely happens, but if it does happen, just caution the other member that this is not a place for you to sell anything to anybody within this group. Okay. No fishing for customers in this pond. Okay. You do whatever marketing outside on your Instagram, social media, other places, but over here, it's a sacred space. It's a space where we want to maintain the sanctity and purity of the space, where we are helping each other make progress and not trying to pitch each other's products over here. So can I have a commitment from all of you that we will maintain this code of honor? Type yes in the chat box. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So with that being said, we have covered the rules, we've covered the celebration criteria. As I mentioned, this hackathon is going to be fast. It's going to be simple. But having said that, some of our missions even go a little bit longer. Like this mission, I think the last time we did this hackathon, it finished at midnight last time. So it may finish at midnight even tonight. So just be open to that. But keep that 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. open, because I want to go really deep into every single element. I want to give you all time to soak in, because hackathon is not just about me teaching. It's about me teaching and also you implementing right here, right now in the call. Okay, so if you're on your laptop, preferred. If you're on a mobile phone, switch to a laptop. If you're sitting in one place, without distractions, that's great. If you're on the move, please close this call, leave, and then join the call when you're in a place where you're on point. Okay, and all of you will be getting a recording. Okay. There's no eligibility or anything. Everybody can participate. All of you will get a recording and replay of the session, which you can watch till we finish this hackathon and get refreshed. So if all of you are clear on all these instructions, just type yes in the chat box. Yeah, all of you will get the recordings. Don't worry. All the missions will get recorded. Very nice. Thank you so much. Let's do it. Okay. So now that I've covered the ground rules, let's begin with the way I've structured this hackathon. So the first segment of the hackathon is all about planning. Then we're going to launching, growth, and then towards the end, when we come to the finisher, we'll be having some challenges like how we had last time. We had the course creation challenge and the ads and reels challenge. That'll be right towards the end. Okay. So the way I've designed the hackathon is I'm going to give you the way of the design the missions, because everything leads to the next. You just need to complete the task, come back next week, complete the task, come back to the next mission, not next week. We're going to do multiple missions in a week. Okay. So this week, we want to get all the planning done. So mission 1 is I'm going to go deep into foundation. How do you really create a movement? Okay. I'm going to go deep into that to help you understand that. 2 is then on Thursday, we're going to go finalize your niche, finalize your curriculum, get your strategy in place, and everything will be done through the codexes. Okay. Mission number 3, on Saturday, we'll be having an influence building where I'll be giving you, we'll not be recording videos and all of that in that mission, but I'm going to give you the theory behind it. And of course, I may make you record something just as, it's not like the ads and reels challenge, but I'm going to help you understand the bigger picture of how to build our influence and how to build our personal brand online. Okay. So all of you are clear on this, type 1C in the chat box. 1C is the first chapter of this hackathon, is all about planning, and you're clear on that. Mission number 4, we'll be shifting gears into course design. This is where I'll be bringing in my unique methodology, which is creating waves now in the coaching industry. Because for me, it's not just about high ticket or low ticket or mid ticket or whatever. We're all building communities. So there's a whole thought process, like where before you even launch, you should have your 3 secrets what you're teaching in the webinar. The 3 secrets should connect with your 3-month challenge in your hackathon. The 3-month challenge should connect with your 3-day course to set the context. And that should connect with your 3-year certification, which is your L3 product. Okay. So I'll just type 3 in the chat box. And this is my unique methodology, which is working like a charm. It works like magic. So if you have an L1 membership, an L2 membership, an L3 certification, and maybe an L4 down the line, it can be a mastermind, like how we have our quantum mastermind and stuff. So that entire, whatever you're teaching, the thread should run right through from the ad right to the super high ticket program that you have. Okay. And for that, I've designed a codex, and you'll get blown away by that. And also I'll be going deep into, when you're designing courses, why the 3-day course, what should be there in each of those videos, like everything will be covered in that. Okay. Then we'll be going into the systems part. Now we have Tag Mango as a platform, and even on the free version, all of you can start off on it. In fact, in that mission, I'll be helping you build your basic tag mango system to start generating leads and your basic website. Okay. And then we'll be doing mission 6, which is on automation, but it's not the technical automation. I'm going to help you realign your life and realign your business with some business principles that I'll be sharing so that you can keep your team really lean. Like, how many of you here would like to build a lean and mean machine like business? Type me in the chat box. Of course, not mean, but a lean business that is very scalable, which is very nimble, which you can really go to whatever extent that you want. Okay. Excellent. And for that, I'm going to share some of the principles. So those of you who are already into business, you already have run businesses, you may need to do some bit of unlearning to understand this format of business. Okay. You don't need to have office. You don't need to have large teams. You can still do it in a simplified way if you're able to structure things in a particular way. So I'm going to go into the structures over there. Okay. And then we go into the growth. Okay. So if all of you got the second piece, all of you just type 2C in the chat box, 2 clear. So the launch phase is all about your system of operation, your courses, and it's all about product. Okay. Product. And then we go into the growth phase. In fact, for the qualification criteria for the hackathon, we'll pretty much finish all of these 6. So these 6 missions, what we're going to be completing this month is all that you need to become a finisher. Okay. And then mission 7 will be going into meta ads. So I'll be giving you some ad templates and the psychology on how it works. So where many of you here who have never run ads before, you can run your own ads. So don't give it to an agency until you have done it yourself. Number 8 is I'll be getting to my webinar selling formula, the updated version, which is working like a charm for most of the people who are doing lakhs and crores using that formula. And number 9 is domination. I'll be going into YouTube. How do you rank your videos on YouTube? And how do you start building your influence over there as well? So overall, the way I've designed everything is by the time we finish this hackathon, all of you you'll have the confidence, you'll have the clarity, you'll have the conviction, and you'll have the skills to be able to go out there. Okay. So, there are many systems out there that say that you can launch a course in a weekend or launch a funnel in a weekend, launch this in a weekend. Honestly, I don't believe in that stuff because you can create a plan in a weekend, but it takes effort, it takes skills, it takes practice to create something substantial. Would all of you agree? Type agree in the chat box. Yeah. What comes worthwhile does not come easy. And what usually comes easy is not worthwhile. Okay. I'm sure many of you have experienced this in your life where you thought something was too good to be true. You go there and then, it's not so good. I mean, it turned out to be not so good decision. And the place where you really put in the effort, you put in the dedication, you worked on yourself and you built it brick by brick by brick by brick and you built something and it was worthwhile. Okay. So that's how I look at the hackathon. Even though I can make you launch something in 3 days, it's possible. Okay. But it's not going to have depth. It's not going to have the true value what your students are looking for. And I've said this before, my win is not your win. Like if you win, I'm happy about it, but that's not my win. My win is your students' win. If you can take this and help your students win, if you help them get the result, then I consider that as a true result for what I'm teaching over here. Okay. If there's a bulb on for you, just type BO in the chat box. Yeah. Your result is not necessarily my result. Though I'm happy giving the 1 crore award, the 10 crore award, or the Hall of Fame award, all of that is fine. But the more success stories you create in your communities, I would consider that as a true win for ILH. Okay. And with that perspective is what I'm building all of these different products and the missions over here. Okay. So now that all of you got the way that the hackathon is structured, even if you're watching a recording or replay, I want you to watch the entire thing from start to finish. Do not skip any of the parts of the recordings. Go to the end. Okay. So this mission is my favorite mission, though I say the same thing in all the missions, but it's one of my favorite missions because it has a lot to do with who you're going to become. Okay. One of my initial mentors, Vic Strises, that I was learning from in 2018, he was saying that it is not about the destination. Okay. It's not about the goal, about the 1 crore, the 10 crore. Like, though I say I want to give you the 1 crore champion award, the 10 crore champion award. It is not about this. It's about falling in love with the process on who you're becoming on your journey towards that award. I'll repeat that. It is not about this award. It is about falling in love with the process on who you're becoming as you're getting to that stage. So for how many of you this was a bulb on, just type BO in the chat box. Let me decode this. Falling in love with the process. People normally don't like processes, right? They love the reward. So shift your perspective in this hackathon. Let's love the process. Now, what is the process? Every single step I'm giving you, do it with a lot of passion and energy. Love the process. Okay. Fall in love with the process on who you're becoming also. So right now, mission 1, possibly many of you here, how many of you here are at ground zero? Just type GZ in the chat box. That means you're starting from scratch. You have no experience in training and coaching. You're just you're starting at the ground zero level. Amazing. Just timestamp this moment. And then observe how you're shifting inside 1 week from now, 1 month from now, 2 months from now. When you finish the hackathon, you should be like, wow, I'm not the same person that I started. Okay. Now, how many of you here in this room have done multiple hackathons and you've seen that with every hackathon, you've just evolved as a being? Type me in the chat box. I know many of you are going to experience that. And many of you have already experienced that. So when you came into ILH, you were like a newborn baby, like not knowing what to do, what is happening. Maybe the first hackathon just went by like a bouncer over your head. Then you came back and then you came back. And in fact, today I was having a one-to-one with one of our members, Satyam. Okay. He's one of my quantum members. I was doing the first orientation with him. He joined ILH in 2020. He picked up all the skills. Then he got busy with his job. And then he, in the education space, then he applied the webinar selling formula in colleges and universities and got like ton load of students through webinar selling formula, but recruiting students for universities. So he got into a job applying this principles. Then after that, he went through the journey, tried and niche, did not work. Then came in, and last year he came back to the hackathon, He had grown right through because he was listening to the strangest secret in the world every single day for the 4 or 5 years. Came back into the last year, said, okay, I'm going to like put everything aside. I'm going to just follow the system, clean slate. I'm going to think I'm a baby once again, and start once again. Came in, started, launched his products, micro niche, everything worked out. And last month he had his biggest month. Okay, for him, his biggest month was a 4 lakh rupee month. Okay, after trials and errors, working in a job and doing all of that stuff. So the reason I'm sharing this with all of you is he fell in love with the process on who he was becoming. Okay, some of you may achieve the result very fast. You may do it in 3 months, 4 months, already hit it out of the park. Some of you may take 9 months, some of you may take 1 year, because each one of us have a different gestation period. Okay, so I don't want any of you here to compare yourself with anybody else, because you are on your own journey. So can all of you take that thought and grow with that thought? Type yes in the chat box. Meaning, your journey is your journey. You can't compare your first chapter with somebody's 21st chapter. Okay, all of us have our own gestation period, but the one principle to keep in mind is love the process. Fall in love with the process and just evaluate and see who are you becoming from one stage to the next. Maybe some of you are already super experienced. You're already in the game. You've got a lot of experience, but now you just need to take that experience out. You got to put yourself out there. You need to maybe build that skill of creating content and generating sales and getting good at one-to-many sales. And some of those elements are maybe missing in some of you here who have a lot of experience. Some of you are starting at ground zero. You got to build all of those skills. Okay, so all of you just type LTP in the chat box. Love the process. So I'm really proud of the journey that we've had in the hackathon so far, because I can tell you that I'm also growing along with you, and it's going to continuously be that way. So this is I started the hackathon in 2020 January because I was getting a lot of sales, selling my courses, but I was not able to see many students get results. So there was a 2-month period in 2019 where I had a lot of sleepless nights, and I was like, what the hell am I doing? I'm making money. Yes, I'm happy. In fact, I did my first 1 crore month in 2019. Okay, and October 2019 was the first 1 CR month. And it was like a Roger Bannister moment, hitting the 4-minute mile. And I was messaging even Suren, and the first time I crossed that milestone. It was a very special moment. But then after I hit that, I was looking at how many success stories am I creating, and there were not so many success stories. Meaning people were coming, they were going. There were a few, but I was not documenting it. And it's only in 2020 I started to document Hall of Fame interviews. And after we did more than 200 Hall of Fame interviews I've actually interviewed. Okay, now I don't have time to do that because I have so many Hall of Fame achievers, more than 400-500 right now. But the point here is, I started the hackathon keeping in mind that as humans, we are all lazy. Would all of you agree? Give me a smile in the chat box. We are all lazy. We need to get a little bit of a kick in the butt to move forward and take action. And that's why I started the hackathon. I said, I have given all the courses. Everything is there in the courses. Why are people not taking action? Why? Because this is needed. Okay. So we started the hackathon version 1. It was a 1-month hackathon. I think many of the 10 crore champions started there. Dinas, and I think Sandeep Bansali. We had many folks who started. Sandeep Gupta, Karthik Naidu. I can just give the whole list. Kartika Nair. All of those people who started in 2020, now many of them have crossed 20 CR also. Okay. So this hackathon is a 28th cycle. So all of you can just type super awesome in the chat box. And this is I'll give a version 9.1. I'm adding some tweak to it. Okay. 28 rounds of hackathons we've done. We've done 1-month hackathons, 2-month hackathons, 3-month hackathons, and then we'll come back to 2-month hackathons, paid hackathons, paid teams, free teams, all the permutation combinations we've done. And the best part is over 15,000 experts have started their journey over here. Over 1,800 something freedom finishers that we have documented. More than 500 plus Hall of Fame, 250 crororepatis, and some. As of this, we are I think the 30 plus 10 crorepati champions. Okay, so. And all of them started here only. Okay, they come here. Some of them keep coming back for more. Okay, they want to come back. They soak into this energy, see what new things am I doing, and go back and putting that action. Okay, so I just want to say that I'm loving this process myself. I just want to continuously grow, and I've said this even before. I would never want to automate a hackathon because I know that every time I do the hackathon, I'm growing. Every time I come back, I'm always improving and tweaking some system. Okay, so I would never want to automate this hackathon, but I'm thinking of other ideas that I'll share. But the whole purpose of this hackathon is to build momentum for all of you. Let's do it together as a team, and let's all take action together as a team. Okay, and which is what I want to give this as a tip for all of you: is when you're building your communities, start with your hackathons right from the beginning itself and document the journey and success stories. Okay, so now let's get started. I just want to let all of you know the missions. Okay, so mission 1 now today is going to be only foundation mission. Mission 2 we're going to do on Thursday, and mission 3 we're going to do on Saturday. Okay, just note these 3 missions. So let's begin. Some of you might have heard me do this before, but let's do it fresh. I want all of you to empty the cup and just be a clean slate right now. And all of you just type CS in chat box. If you just want to clean the slate, I want all of you to just drop everything that you know and just think that you are just starting from scratch. Okay, all that you have done in the past is great, but it does not matter. Now, what are you going to build from this moment on? Even if you're 1 crore champion in this room, just drop everything. And I want you to just contemplate on every line, every word, every concept that I'm going to be sharing, because this is some deep stuff, what I'm going to share. Okay, so let's understand how revolutions are created. Okay, I never thought that iLife would grow this way, but some of you don't know this, but in 2017 and 2018, in fact, in 2015, 2016, I was doing a lot of affiliate marketing. I was learning from this guy called David Wood, Empower Network. I went to the US, I think in 2015 or something, and blew my mind away. I attended an event with 3,000 people, and I just saw the way, the guy was building communities. Okay, of course it was an affiliate marketing, a network marketing kind of a scenario, but I learned a lot over there when it comes to tribe building. I learned a lot of, I learned how revolutions are created, because when I attended in that session, there was a segment on mass influence. Okay, so he basically decoded how you can influence people at scale. A lot to do with psychology, NLP, marketing, all combined in one. And then I forgot about it. I came back, did not do much. As you know, some of you may know, I was just grinding it and not having the cash flow. But in my mindset, my software had kind of shifted. I had a software update when I went over there, but it was not reflecting in my bank account. That was a different story. So I came back 2016, train the trainer, after train the trainer, Vic happened, and after Vic, everything, the whole the curve started to move up really fast because all the dots connected like really fast. Okay. Now in 2018 or 2017, 2018, I was now how many of you, anybody here in this room? I know Vijay is here, who gave me a smiley. How many of you have been with me since 2018? Type 2018 in the chat box. Okay. Before ILH. Okay. Thank you for coming back, guys. Really want to appreciate you. Like, wow. By the way, Brinda is here. Brinda is officially the second person who got into ILH. Roll number 00002. Okay. So Brinda, thank you for being here, even after 5 years. Okay. Who else do we have here? Milind Joshi, Ramkumar, Harshad, Vijay, Akshay. I know Akshay. Who else do we have? Mithun, I'm able to remember. Vinith, of course. Vinith and I, we go back way before that. And Vinith, when I'm talking about Empower Network, when I'm talking about MVT, we go back a long way back. Rafila Beg, yes, good to have you here. Wow, good to see some of you. Yeah, Harish also, we go back way before that. Gaurav Gandhi. Okay. So those of you who were there in 2018, do you remember that I used to keep talking about how to turn your message into a movement? Yeah. Some of you remember that. So I used to do a lot of these webinars where I would not sell anything. I would do Monday and Thursday webinars. Monday would be on influence building. Thursday would be on affiliate marketing. Okay. And this even before I was promoting Vic's Rises in 2018. Those of you who do not know the history, I'll just tell you what happened. So before Jan, 2017, October, November, December, I just kept doing webinars. I was still running my digital marketing agency, but I just wanted to nurture my affiliate marketing group. And at that point of time, there was no product for me to sell. So I would just talk about influence, 1 hour webinar, I would answer questions. And then Thursday I would talk about affiliate marketing and then come back. And then I would not sell anything in the webinar. That would be 30, 40, 50 people in the webinar. It would be these guys, Ram Kumar, Harshad. We had some of you guys. Okay, I still remember you guys. And then what happened is all of my commissions got stuck in ClickBank. Oh, this is the ClickBank thing happened later. Okay, so Jan, Feb, March, I started to sell the 4%. Okay, I started to sell the 4%, and then I promoted Vic's product. I hit the top 10 spot in the world, went to Miami, won that contest, all of that stuff. And I came back, all the commissions got stuck, and I did not, there was some legal stuff that was getting sorted out on 4% at that point of time. I did not have a product to sell. So what did I do? Because I did not have any option, I had to record some course and sell, because I was already running ads for the webinars where I was selling his product. So I did not have anything to sell now. So in 2 weeks, I created Freedom Business Model and Freedom Setup Challenge. And I just had 2 products. And I started selling that at 999 rupees. And Brinda, who's here in the room, she's the second person who bought the product at 999 rupees. Okay, just 2 products. And then, long story short, it started with affiliate marketing. It evolved into something else and something else and something else. And today we are like, it's a whole different ecosystem that we're moving the entire market in the coaching industry right now. Okay. Now, why am I sharing this is because in 2017, October, November, December, when I had no product, I was talking about what I'm going to share with you right now. Because back in 2017, I moved to Chennai in 2016. We were still going through the grind. And I would go every week to the Besant Nagar beach. Okay, those of you know Chennai, I go to Besant Nagar beach. I would just go sit there. Once in a week, I would go. There's even the Ashtalakshmi temple there. I'll go sit on the beach, half an hour to 1 hour, just sit there, just sit and come back. Okay, and I would just want to just soak in and think about life and everything else. I wish I had more time to do that. I'm not going that much like before. But on one of the days, I discreetly remember I sitting on the beach, and then I just threw out a question out to the universe, like, how can I make best use of my skills? It's like just an open question in the open beach there. And I'm just sitting there, and my life was, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I had to really step up. There was no, I had to take care of my family. My child was there. All of that stuff was going on. So when I came back home, I had this moment, like it was more like a download, I should say. But how many of you had these moments where you're in a place, you just suddenly get dropped idea in your head from somewhere, you do not know, wow, from where it came? Have any of you experienced that? Type me in the chat box. So this was one of those moments where I come back home that evening, and I'm like, wow, I need to put this down in paper, and then I just put it all down. And then it was basically a decoding of how revolutions are created. So immediately in those October, November, December webinars, I started to teach this. So what did I teach? 6 steps. So first step is, all of us have a core. Okay, this is exactly what I was teaching in 2017. Okay, and I was not selling anything. All of us, we have a core, and that core gets triggered based on some situation, people, or something that happens in our life. Okay, From the time that we're born, we have our different experiences that keep getting added on. Our creator is giving us different curriculums at different stages in our life that we need to go and integrate different lessons. And I used to give the example, even now I'll give the example of Gandhi. Okay, so everything was going on well. He was doing well. Went to South Africa, gets into the train, and something happens. He gets thrown out. That's a trigger point. Okay, now that trigger point that converts into a message. He comes back to India, and then he starts this movement. Okay, in fact, there was no movement. It was just a message. Now, what is the core message of Gandhi? Ahimsa. Okay, freedom through non-violence. And I think everybody has had these moments. Something like everything is going good, something happens, and there's a whole shift in direction. Okay. The same thing we can see with Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, the I Have a Dream speech, is one of the greatest speeches in the world. And normally we used to play that in hackathons. I'm not going to play that right now. But if you listen to that speech, it is so powerful because it was back in the day where there was no internet and there was nobody, and there were 250,000 people in front of the Washington D.C. where he gave that speech, and it literally created history. Okay. Now he had a core message. I mean, his core was shaken up because of slavery and all blacks versus whites and all of that stuff. But you know what? More than 25% of the people who came for that for that particular event, the I Have a Dream speech, were whites. Okay, it was not blacks versus whites. It was equality was his core message. So people came for not for him, but for what he stood for. And those of you who have seen Simon Sinek's talk, which is one of the greatest talks in TED on why. Okay, he's known as a why guy. Okay, he speaks about this, and he also gives the example of Steve Jobs and Apple, and he got thrown out of Apple, and he came back and he completely reinvented Apple with a core message of think different. Okay. And again, for Steve Jobs, that was a trigger point. He was kicked out of his own company that he started, and then he came back and then he restarted the whole thing. Okay. So how many of you are with me till this point? Type W in the chat box. So every single one of us have that moment where some kind of a shakeup that happens, and that shakeup is actually needed for you to play that bigger game. Okay. So back to Gandhi's example. So he comes, core message develops. Then what happens? He starts rallying. So back in the olden days, there was no internet, there was no videos, none of that stuff. So he would go village to village, town to town with his group of people, and he would talk about his message. And even now political rallies, all of this happened. So basically, I've analyzed religious movements, political movements, anything that has become revolutions. Okay. So rallying happens. Now what happens is when you start rallying, and in our age, can you all give me an example of what are we doing to rally? Give me an example. What are we doing? Every reel we post is like rallying. Every webinar we do is a rally. Every video we post on social media, on YouTube, we are putting out a message. Okay. Now some people, they don't look at it as rallying, so it does not have an impact. But if you go with this approach, that this piece of content I'm going to throw out, I wanted to resonate or create a resonance with the people that I want to invite into my world. Okay. So rallying would start. So, and while rallying happens, you start to attract believers, people who believe in what you believe in. Okay. Now, how many of you here, you saw my ad, you came to my webinar, and then you heard me say this, that our education system is broken and we need to really fix it. And that's why I'm doing this. And then I shared my grandpa's story. I came back home, I asked Tata, why should I go to school? He said, no, never let schooling interfere with education. That message went so deep. And so my mission is to do this. Now, how many of you really, you actually bought and came into ILH because of that common belief that we have? Type me in the chat box. Like you didn't buy my product just to make 3 lakhs per month or 1 crore or 1 crore champion. All of that came much later. But I'm pretty sure that 99% of you invested and you came into ILH because there's a resonance in belief system. Because people who did not believe in this, they would have gone to do something else. Okay. And just like how a magnet has 2 poles, you have the north and the south pole. And north and south, they attract, right? And north, they repel. So what happens is when you are rallying with a strong message, it will attract people. It will also repel people away. There'll be some people who will also say that, no, you're a scam or this or that. You'll have all kinds of comments that will come on social media, and be ready for that. Okay. So that's how nature works. You'll, on one side you attract, on the other side you repel. Okay. Same happened even with Gandhi. Okay? Same happened even with Martin Luther King. Same happened even with John F. Kennedy. All these people who are true visionaries or who changed the world in some way, they also repelled an audience. Okay. Number 4, the 4th step is you got to nurture the tribe. So once you attract a bunch of believers who believe in your vision, now you got to hold the space for them. And how do you nurture them is through a code of honor, a value system. Even if you look at religious movements, even if you look at Jesus, Prophet Muhammad, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, you look at anyone who has built large organizations, where their organizations have grown after they are leaving this planet. The thing that keeps people together, or the culture, is a code of honor, or a set of rules, principles, rituals. All of these keep the tribe together. Okay? And it keeps the belief systems together. You look at any organization, even the Mormons, like if you look at any community that is very tight, right? They operate based on principles. How many of you can resonate with this? Type I in the chat box. Okay. And now the best part is, what we are doing here in ILH is we are creating tribes where we're bringing people from all backgrounds, all faiths, all people can believe in whatever they want, but we have a common belief which is beyond religion and all that stuff. Okay. And that's what makes what we are doing such a unifier in a polarized world that we're living in right now. Okay. And I truly believe that this is, it's like live and let live, unity and diversity. All of that stuff is something which I think in a community model, it is a core of what we are doing over here. Okay. But again, there has to be an enemy. Okay, there is no game without an enemy. There's no match without an opposition. And I've given this example, right? Suppose there is a India-Pakistan match, and Pakistan they both start the game, and then Pakistan gives a walkover. Is there any fun in a match where an opposition is saying, oh, it's okay, you go and you win? There is absolutely no fun in this. So there has to be a kind of a resistance. Okay, so even when you are building a community or when you want to create a movement, you have to identify an enemy. Now the enemy does not need to be a person, but the enemy can also be a system. And the reason why many of you are here is because we have created the education system as enemy. Okay, of course, I'm not so hard on it because it has done its part, it has played its role in the industrial era, but now it's time for change. It's time for something new. Okay, so how many of you are able to get the logic now? If you're able to get the principle behind this, type GT in the chat box. So depending on your niche, maybe the healthcare system is the enemy. Maybe the corporate system is the enemy, or maybe even if you're targeting business owners, businesses that are unethical and unethical business practices, that becomes the enemy. So once you take that stance, then the right people will enter your world. Okay, excellent. Then comes the fifth step is you got to empower the leaders. So from your tribe, leaders will emerge, and then the community creates the revolution. It is not you. You are only the starter of the revolution, but your community creates the revolution, and that becomes your legacy. So our mentor Blair says that your legacy is not in your courses, your legacy is not in your books, your legacy is not in your videos, your legacies are not in any of the stuff. Your legacy are your students. Okay, like whoever is entering your community, what principles basically what you teach them and how they carry it forward is what becomes your legacy. Okay, how many of you this was a Balbon moment? Just type BOM in the chat box. I look at all the great teachers of our past, Jesus, Prophet Muhammad, Ramanujacharya, I mentioned Madhvacharya, all these, Lord Buddha also, right? All of them, they came at a time, they had a message, they created a deep impact, they left, but then the message lives on. Okay. Now that is how cultures are created. So these 6 steps is what I got as a download back in 2017, and I was talking about this when I did not have a community. Now it's easy for some of you, you may be thinking like it's easy for me to teach this right now because after building the community I can decode it. But you know what? I was talking about this before I started this ILH. Okay, so I'll be type crazy in the chat box. And I was talking about every single week. Okay, every week I would talk about this. Then I would ask people, okay, how are you going to grow your influence? And then I would just close the call. I would answer a few questions, and that's it. And then I connected this to affiliate marketing. Okay, now let's build an affiliate marketing ecosystem. Then I learned from Vic on building ecosystems, and the whole ecosystem word became more popularized because he had started using it more at that point of time. Because before Vic was talking about ecosystems, everyone was talking about funnels. Okay, because Russell Brunson was a big guy. Even now he's big, but I'm just saying the whole concept of funnels was everyone was like funnel before that. Okay, and before funnels it was it was more about copywriting, like long form landing pages. And those of you who remember the good old wild west days of internet marketing in 2025, the Frank Kern, the Eben Pagan, the John Carlton days, like I've gone to internet marketing from those days. There was no concept of funnel back then. It was just long form sales letters people would go by and squeeze pages and all that stuff. Then it evolved into funnels. Then Vic introduced the ecosystem concept, and now we're taking it one notch up and looking at learning networks. That's what we are propagating over here. But ultimately the principles are the same. Okay, so now that all of you have got this, let's go into what are the attributes of a super coach. So I look at a normal coach and a super coach. Normal coach are the ones who are product pushers, product sellers, product launchers, closers. They all come with that vibe, which is great. Many of them, they're contributing to the economy of the industry, which is great. But I know many of them won't be able to create legacies. They won't be able to create something that is sustaining for probably many decades. Okay, they won't be remembered after 10 years. Okay, like I know many internet marketers, like 20 years back, they were a big name, Yannick Single and Telman Notes, and like there were like 2-3 names like this. Okay, today they have, at one point of time they were doing $100,000-$200,000 a month, and they were looked up to. But now they are nowhere in the space. There are only a handful of people that I know who started in 2018. One of them is Frank Kern. One of them is Russell Brunson. Like these are the old timers who've been around for a long time because they've created something which is sustainable, and they've really built something around a platform or an ecosystem. Okay, so all of you just type the word super coach. I want, like, the purpose of this hackathon is to really help you build something which is sustainable long term. Now, what is the super coach? I got this idea from Superman. I think many of you have seen that segment in the My Freedom Codex course, but I'm going to go in depth. Okay, so I heard this concept called telos from Dr. John Demartini. Now, how many of you here have no clue about what is this telos? Just type NC in the chat box. You have no clue about it. Okay, thank you. Now, if you go and look at the definition of telos, let me go to ChatGPT and do it right now. Okay, so I'm going to go to ChatGPT and say, what is the definition of the word telos? It's from ancient Greek, which means end goal or ultimate purpose, especially in Aristotelian thought. Telos refers to the inherent purpose or the final cause of something. Aristotle believed that everything in nature has a telos. Everything has a purpose, okay, and it is naturally directed towards. Okay, like the telos of an acorn is to become an oak tree. The telos of a human, it might be considered to live a life of virtue and fulfillment. Okay, so for me, this is a new concept. Just type the letter N. Just type new in the chat box. Okay, it's a new concept. So the first thing is telos. If I have to decode it, I went and did a research on golden age, okay, because even from my spiritual lineage that I'm coming from, there's a prediction that there's a golden era that's coming, okay, that's already here. And I'm sure in many other cultures also there's this whole buzz around the golden age, golden age. So I went and did a research on golden age. What is the definition of a golden age? What are the attributes of a golden age? And I went and looked at the attributes. Again, thanks to ChatGPT, I had a bunch of stuff. Like, what is a golden era? A golden era is where there's peace and harmony in society, where there's prosperity and abundance, where there's justice and fairness, where there's cultural and intellectual flourishing that happens, where there's moral and ethical integrity in the world, and then there is environmental sustainability. Okay, I'm not saying that we are 100% there right now, but then compared to maybe 50, 60 years ago, would all of you agree with me that we're living in a much better world right now? Type agree in the chat box. Compared to probably during the World War I, World War II, the baby boomers, like they faced a totally different life, and our great grandfathers and all that, they were living a totally different lifestyle. Okay, and I've also said this before that we are living in a very interesting time where, especially if you're millennial or probably Gen X or Gen Y, we have seen a world where there was no technology. Okay, literally, like I'm born 1983. Okay, so the only thing I think I was born into was the year we won the World Cup. That was the year I was born. So I was introduced growing up with cricket, Beltec television, and what else? If you remember, like He-Man and Street Hawk, and if you remember, the Giant Robot and all those days. I remember the day when Star TV came for the first time. Okay, those of you remember those days. Now, those of you are born after 2000s, you don't have a clue about what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, Captain Planet, and you remember all of those days. Yeah. So we saw an era without mobile phones. Then we saw the era where the pager was introduced. Those of you know what a pager is. And my dad had a pager, okay, and it was like a really cool thing. And then after that came the messenger. Like, how many of you here have spent a lot of time on MSN Messenger, Yahoo Messenger, MIRC, if you know what I'm talking about? Okay, type me. It's like, I think I'm taking you back into nostalgia days right now. So we've experienced that world. This is just pre-2000 or into 2000s. And then the Orkut happened, and all of us found our school friends, and we got really excited about that. And MySpace was happening on the background, and suddenly Facebook came, and all of us moved to Facebook. And then Orkut died, MySpace died, everything, Then YouTube started to come. YouTube evolved. I mean, all of you know the history, right? Then came Instagram, and then after that, social media took on a whole different space. Google Ads was more popular in between 2000 and 2010. I started my agency, I think, in 2011. And Facebook ads started to get more popular. I was doing social media workshops back then. And then came the next era, is the rise of influencers. Yeah. Mail City, Rediff, yeah, all these different. I remember those days. Okay. In fact, how many of you remember the Napster days, LimeWire days? Type me in the chat box. Okay. The Napster, the LimeWire, the torrenting days, Wooz and all of that stuff. Okay. So we went through that era, and then we came to the next era, which is the rise of influencers. Suddenly we saw YouTube influencers popping. Then we saw then Instagram influencers popping up, and then podcasters starting to come. So the last, I think from 2010 to 2020, we saw the rise of social media and the rise of all these influencers. And then 2020, of course, TikTok rise and fall in India. 2020 COVID, then again boom. And while all of this is happening, I'm just connecting the dots, by the way. Okay? I think all of you will be able to see through why we are living very interesting times. Aadhaar happened. Then demonetization happened. Then UPI happened. Then what else happened? See, all of the tech stack in India was built during all these times. Okay. And then what else? Then 5G, then Geo. Okay. Geo happened. Geo has played a huge, in fact, Geo has grown to its maximum number of user base because of Aadhaar. If Aadhaar was not there, Geo would not have happened. Okay. So everything has an interconnection to the growth of where we are. And then, of course, the coaching industry boomed during 2020, 21, all of that stuff. And then something else happened, which is 2023. What happened in 2023? Yeah, phone pay, UPI, AI. Okay. All of you just type AI in the chat box. ChatGPT happened in 2023. Okay. And we didn't know what AI was going to do to the world, but even now we don't know what it's going to do in the next 4 or 5 years. But it's gone crazy. In fact, some of you have seen this evolution. You might have heard my podcast. If you have not heard, please listen to my podcast, where I speak about the evolution of technology, on where it's going, okay, and how I feel. So right now we are in the stage of chatbots where AI can handle all of our basic interactions. It's moving into reasoners where now AI and ChatGPT, also the prompts. I mean, the way that you're interacting with ChatGPT is getting better. And of course, we have DeepSeek. Then we got Gemini, and I feel Google is also it's really ahead in the race of AI. Okay. Then now we're seeing agentic AI that's coming in. That means pretty much you just give the prompt and it'll do anything for you. The agents are going to go into innovation, and then we're going to see super intelligence at some point of time where I still don't understand what that I just know it theoretically, but I want to see how it will be in action. But why am I sharing this with you is, do you think we are really blessed to be living in a time where we have seen literally no tech? I mean, I'll start from here to here. Okay? No tech to full on tech. Just type blessed in the chat box. I don't think our kids can see this kind of a spectrum in one lifetime. Okay. I don't think our grandparents have seen so many changes in the world in one lifetime. Okay. Possibly they have made a few notches up in their tools to grow crops or something like that. Okay, but not this kind of a crazy evolution. Okay, and of course, if you go back, there were some changes that happened right through the 50s, 60s, 70s. From LP records, which I've experienced, to tape recorders, to Walkmans, the Sony Walkmans, the yellow color one. You know what I'm talking about, like, and then coming into the iPods. Okay, so we have seen so much in this one life, which is amazing. Okay, so why am I sharing all of this? Is because I want to establish that we are already in a golden age. Now, would all of you agree? Type yes in the chat box with a lot of exclamation marks. We are in a golden age right now. We are seeing so many things. Of course, there's always polarity in this world. There's going to be wars. There's going to be all of this stuff happens in different parts of the world. We got a slap from nature through COVID, and hopefully we realize as humanity that there are more important things in this world. But I'm glad that now we are seeing the rise of the education revolution with what we are doing over here. So when I went back into history, 11 moments in history that I could see that are golden eras. Like you can go back to the golden era of the Athens, the time of Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. Then we had the Gupta Empire, which is when Nalanda happened. Then the Islamic Golden Age. Okay. Then we had the Tang Dynasty. Okay. Like if you just go and research on each of these dynasties, there was a window of maybe a few hundred years where everything was flourishing, growing, and everything was moving forward. Okay. And just like how there are cycles like day and night, summer, autumn, winter, spring, even through the ages, it goes to the dark ages, and then again we're coming out of that. Okay, so I feel that's where we are right now. The Renaissance, then we had the Dutch, then the Han Dynasty, then we had the Song Dynasty, then we had the Age of Perseus, and the Elizabethan era, where the British had their golden age, conquering different parts of the world, creating colonies, all of that stuff. And then even the Chola Dynasty, like Raja Chola, Ponniyin Selvan movie, if you guys have seen, like you get a glimpse of this. And of course, there are many more dynasties. Like if I look at just South India, just say Kanchipuram, Mahabalipuram, look at the Marathas, the Shivaji Maharaj, like each were able to conquer and they had their own golden eras, okay, during their periods. So how many of you are like inspired just by looking at this list here? Type inspired in the chat box. Now, why am I sharing this? I know what does this have to do with coaching? I'm just expanding your thought because you're here to create a revolution. You're not here to just launch a course and get some profit out of the course. Okay, let's look deeper. Now I analyze the traits of the leaders who actually created these revolutions. Why? Because one is I want us to embody those qualities because all of us are going to create revolutions and we're going to go revolution exponential. Okay, with ILH. Number one is they were visionary in their thinking. They were not thinking small. They were always thinking big. Even if they had a clear and compelling vision of the future, often focusing on cultural, scientific, or some economic advancement of the world. Okay, that was one of the traits. The second trait is they were very innovative. Like all the leaders who are leading these revolutions, they embraced and promoted new ideas. They promoted new technologies. They promoted new methods, and they were driving progress and development. They were very strategic in leadership. They were skilled in planning, executing, and they were also good at executing strategies that led to sustained growth. Like always, it was a win-win-win model that everybody had to win. Number four is they had some kind of a charisma. They possessed the ability to inspire people to move, motivated, rallying, people around to common goal, common vision. Okay. Number five is they were courageous. They were willing to take risks and took bold decisions, often in the face of opposition, uncertainty. Okay. They were also culturally attuned. They promoted cultural, artistic, intellectual pursuits, understanding the importance of a rich cultural life. Okay, so culture was very much at the core. They were inclusive and fair, often promoted justice, fairness, and inclusion of people even from multiple subsects that would be there, ensuring that the societies were equitable and just. Another thing is many of these leaders were economically astute. They were very sharp. They had the acumen on economic principles, on business, on strategic decision making, between villages, between societies, trade, and all of the barter system, many of the things that would happen back in the day. Okay? And then diplomacy. They were adept at managing relationships both within their realms and with other states and regions, fostering peace and cooperation. And there was ethical integrity. They demonstrated high moral standards, integrity, earning the trust and respect of their peers. And of course, there was also the dark side. There were some of them who were, who made things really worse. Okay. Now, the reason I made this list is for all of us. Now, how many of you would agree with me that we can actually incorporate all of these elements in the way that we operate and build communities? Just type yes, we can. All of you just type yes in the chat box. Even some small percentage. We want to take attributes of people who led golden eras and do it in our own small way. Okay. And I'm a big fan of the movie 300. Like the Spartans. 300 they went and defeated the bigger army because they worked together as that force. Okay. So we can't underestimate the power that we have as a group. So number three is what is our game? Our game is a combination of teleology and technology. And if that was a bulb on for some of you, just type B on the chat box. We are building communities with a higher cause and a purpose and all of that, but we're also enabling ourselves with cutting edge technology that we have right now. I mean, now with AI powered, everything is on a whole different codex level, which I want to share next. Okay. So now let's come to the second part, which is vibration. How many of you here would agree with me that we are all vibrational beings? Type agree in the chat box. We are both transmitters and receivers of information. Okay. Everything is vibration, everything is frequency in this universe. So how do we decode all of this? Number one is each one of us have our own vibration. Like if you look at you, your core values, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, your beliefs, all of these drive your vibration. So the way that you are working on your inner game and your core will determine how you're going to be attracting your community. So in other words, your vibe will attract your tribe. Okay. And your community, the three aspects that create a vibration or a charge in a community is the code of honor of the community, the habits and rituals that you incorporate in the community, and the actions that you get the community to take to make progress. The actions and progress. All of you clear till this point, type clear in the chat box. Okay. So the more you're working on yourself, you will attract the similar kind of tribe. And I'll tell you, I can see this even in myself. In the beginning, in 2018, when I was doing more affiliate marketing, I was more like hyping things up and I was pitching affiliate marketing products, though the values, principles, and everything else. But because I was more promoting with hype, I was attracting people who were resonance in that hype. Okay. Now because even I've changed or evolved through this journey, I can see the caliber of people coming into IELTS now are way different compared to what it was in 2018. Okay, so for how many of you this was a new perspective? Type NP in the chat box. Yeah, it's a new perspective because I was, even though my values were there, but I was different. Okay, I was different in the sense the way I would do things are different. Okay, so it's like there's a maturity that's happening through the journey. So 7 years in the game, yeah, there are some lessons I've learned. Okay, so there's the maturity that happens. So as you grow, your community grows. As you grow, you'll attract a different group of customers because it's all a game of vibration. And then number 3 is when your community is growing, automatically the society will grow. Now, I can't put a measure on exactly the impact IELTS has had because I can't measure it, because if I include all the 30,000 plus people and how many community members that they have and how many families that they have impacted, like that can't be measured. Okay, but would all of you agree with me that together we are actually raising the vibration of society? Type yes in the chat box. So why am I sharing this? When you work on yourself, you attract the right community, and when you are activating your community, we will together uplift society. And this vibration, when society gets uplifted, is going to bring about the golden age. And for us to do that, we need to incorporate our traits of the leaders. So now we'll come to the concept of codex. Those of you who have not watched the movie Man of Steel, please watch it. It's a really awesome Superman movie, the new one, the Hans Zimmer and the Christopher Nolan Hans Zimmer movie. Okay, so there is a scene where Krypton, the planet, is dying, resources are out, and there was no human, there was no child that was born naturally in that planet. This is the movie, the fiction part of the movie. Okay, and it's called Man of Steel. Okay, Man of Steel. All of you can see this later. So there's a part in that movie in the beginning where Kal-El, who is the father of Superman, okay, or I'm not sure Superman's name is Kal-El. Okay, I forget the name. Okay, so Superman's dad, he goes and there's something called Codex. Yeah, Jor-El. Thank you so much, Jor-El. So so basically like how you can store DNA information, in labs. They had this place where they would unnaturally birth people in that planet using something called as a codex. So a codex has all the DNA information of that race of the Kryptonians, and then so what happens is Superman's father jumps in, he takes that, and then he brings it back to his den, and he and his son, which is Superman, was the only natural born Kryptonian in so many decades, so many thousands of years. So he basically installs the codex into the chromosome of Superman. So Kal-El is Superman, right? And then because the planet is dying, he shoots Superman out of that Krypton towards Earth, and all of you know the story. Okay, so that's why when Superman comes to Earth, he feels like an alien because he's super. Okay, he's not from this planet. Okay, so how many of you got a quick crash course on Superman? Just give me a smiley in the chat box. Okay, please go watch that movie. It's one of my favorite movies, and I love the music of Hans Zimmer in that particular movie especially. So because I was inspired by that movie, I came up with this word codex. Okay, I think before this, none of you would have had a wildest idea of what codex even means. Okay, I'm sure most of you would not have thought about it. But when I go back to ChatGPT and look at what is the definition of the word codex, it comes from the Latin word which originally meant book, specifically the book, the bound manuscript, like a historical codex, an ancient manuscript, something which has a systematic collection of principles, laws, or knowledge, or something like that. Okay, so I basically took that, Codex Alimentarius, okay, Alimentarius, the Jedi Codex. Nice. The Freedom Business Codex. Cool. That's actually come up. Thank you, ChatGPT, for bringing it up over here. Nice. I think I popularized the word codex. Okay. So now coming to the codex, what are we doing here? The definition of codex I mentioned is an ancient book made of handwritten pages and all of that. I also shared, so the Superman Codex is a fictional, powerful device from the Superman universe that contains the genetic information of the entire Kryptonian race. It's used to create new Kryptonians and preserve their species. So I just took that same idea and I thought, okay, let us all create our own codex. Okay, where it is not to preserve the human race, but it is to preserve and take forward our vision, our communities, okay, based on what we want. So basically, what the codex is here to do is to design your entire journey based on your telos and our combined telos. And if this is a bulb on moment, just type B on the chat box. So in a nutshell, I have just movified the whole strategy of coaching. That's it. Okay, and I made it more exciting for everyone by coming up with a whole codex concept over here. So why are we doing all of this? If all of you are clear on how these are interconnected, just type clear in the chat box. The purpose of the codex is to operate from your core, not based on somebody else's values. You're not going to be living your life based on what somebody else has asked you to do. You need to operate from your core values, and that's why you're living your own truth. Okay, so that you are able to raise your vibration, your community vibration, so that together we build this telos. Okay, so my vision again is that I look at each one of you here in this room as a very powerful super coach. Okay, like you are like the Kal-El or the Superman or the Superwoman over here, and you have come from some other planet. Maybe you're an alien. I do not know, but you have some superpower that's there inside you, and like how Hanuman did not know his power and somebody had to show him his power and then he started to, create magic after that, right? So I hope to be that person to show you what you don't know. That's what is there inside you. Okay, so the whole process of the hackathon is to bring that out of you. Okay, so are all of you ready for that? Type game on in the chat box. So how can you be that Superman and you, or Superwoman, bring out your superpowers, raise your vibration, build your community, society, so that together, what I'm able to see is all of us are going to be creating powerful communities. I'm like, if I could just close my eyes and envision this 5 years, maybe 10 years from now, every one of you having a community of 10,000 people, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, maybe 10,000 of us having 10,000 communities. Just imagine the impact in the world. Okay, all of you type, what word comes to you? Type that word in the chat box. If you just close your eyes, imagine that. What is that word that comes to you? 10,000 coaches having 10,000 community, each coach having 10,000 community member, and then possibly that creating another ripple in the next generation. Now, it's not about the community size, but it is about the cultural shift that will happen because all of us are operating on a core set of principles. And what principles are we operating in? We're operating in the principles of these 10 principles of being visionary, innovative, strategic, charismatic, courageous, cultural, inclusive, economic, diplomatic, ethical, inclusive, teleology, with technology. And I think this is what humanity needs. Yeah. As I said this before, with AI technology, like everything can be done very fast now. And what's going to make us valuable as humans is that peer-to-peer, because bots cannot buy from us. Yeah. And we can't sell to AI. We can only buy from AI. Okay. We can use AI for doing some kind of it can help us in our sales process, like we do automated webinars. And of course, it's not an AI doing it. I'm actually doing a webinar, but I'm recording it and it's an automated webinar. You can automate a lot of stuff. But I think the final frontier of coaching and what we're doing is hedge to hedge. All of you just type hedge to hedge. It's all human to human. And that's why community building is going to be the name of the game for every topic that you can think of. Okay. Community builders will have an added unfair advantage over product sellers. Okay. And that's what I want to create. So I want to create an army of us super coaches. And sometimes some of you may have the word, you may have the pressure of the word coach because you may think, okay, who am I to coach? I'm going to, but I want to use the word leader. I want to create more and more leaders like our mentor Bless says, so that we really move people forward. Okay. So now that you've got this, let's go to the next piece, which is the actual codex. How many of you here have not yet done the personal codex? Type NY in the chat box if you have not yet worked on the personal codex. Excellent. So tonight is going to be a night that you're not going to sleep. I know that. Okay. And those of you who have done the codex, I want you to do a clean slate, clean restart, fresh perspective, because I know you also evolved from the time you did the last time to this time. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you an activity where you got to define your life. You got to design your codex and you got to bring it to life. Okay. And I'll show you what it is, the codex. I'm going to give you some prompts on doing this. So this first activity, what we're going to do, those of you who just did it like 4 days back, like Pallavi, is perfect. You can just refresh. You can just go deep into it. I'm going to have some nice music playing over here. And it's going to be a 1 hour, a 55-minute activity. Okay. So all of you just type 1030 in the chat box. You're going to come back at 10:30. If you have done it, great. Do it once again. Just add more detail to the vision. Okay. Add more detail to the vision. So let me now just share and tell you what you need to fill in. Okay. And my challenge to all of you is you got to finish this today itself. No waiting for later. Give me a second. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to pause the chat. So all of you can just read this. I can share my answers, but I just want to keep it later. I want you to use your own words and elaborate on it. Okay. When you're answering this, don't just put in 1 word or 2 words. I want you to have at least 2 lines to elaborate on it if you can. Okay. So you're going to have 55 minutes to do this. So what are the 3 things that you want to be known for? What are your top 3 values in life? What do you value most? What 3 changes you want to create in society? What is your desired net worth in this lifetime? You just put whatever number, just put 1,000 there just for the namesake, but you can put whatever number is true to you. What do you want to have as your top 3 contribution goals? Where do you see yourself living? Your home base? Which city? Which location? Be precise. What type of a home? Is it going to be a bungalow or an apartment or a duplex? Is it going to be how many square feet? What's the design style? I want you to define, like, is it going to be like modern luxury or Mediterranean or ethnic, or like what style of home? What is the name you want to give your home? Okay. And what does that home emotion represent? The reason why I'm going deep into this, because this home base, because you're all building a home based business, right? We may also have an office, we may have a co-working space, all of the stuff. But when you define this, you will start to attract it. Okay. It will happen. And imagine that this is going to be the base from where you're creating your revolution. Okay. Because you're in a digital world. And this physical space is going to really take you there. What are the top 6 experiences that you want to give your family? How long do you desire to live and contribute? Enter your current age, enter your desired age, and then enter how many years to go. Okay, this will give you a reality check. What are the top 6 things to live? What the things that you need to do to live a super fit and healthy life? Maybe some of you are not yet taking charge of your health, so you put that into priority. What are your top 6 character traits? What are your top 6 achievements in this life that you want to achieve? Not what has happened, but what is also going to happen in the future. Okay, and I want all of you to enter a Padma Bhushan, Bharat Ratna, something somewhere. Okay, so I want you to envision that it's not about the award; it is about the like how you need to play the game to create that impact to qualify for that. Okay, even if it's a Bharat Ratna or a Padma Bhushan. So I want you to put some of that over there, or whatever is the highest civilian award for your whichever country you may be in. Who are your top 3 mentors, masters, and what are their attributes? Then what are your top 3 accumulated wealth goals that you want to create? Like how much money do you want to have in capital markets? How much money you want to have in real estate? How much money you want to keep in metals? Like just keep it simple. Like say you want to do 5 crore, 10 crore, whatever, like in this lifetime, just as your security for your family and stuff. What are your top 6 unquestionable standards? Like you'll be truthful, you'll be punctual, you'll be honest, you will be transparent, or you'll say you are always going to push the boundaries. Like some things that are your unquestionable standards that you'll hold up for yourself. Okay. Number 15 is what are the top 3 awards and recognition that you'd love to receive for your contribution? Okay, so this also you can add some of the awards over there. What are the top 6 things that I would like to do for fun, for my relaxation and enjoyment? Okay, like for me, it's gaming, spending time with the kids, and going to temples. And it's not fun, but for me, it is fun. Like I like to go to places which have cultural heritage and just soak into that. For me, those are the things that relax me a lot. And maybe just bumming around and not doing any work. Even going to some hotel or going to some place and not going out anywhere. That also I like doing. So you can input your form of relaxation. Top 3 things to become a freedom finisher. So this is more like to do with this hackathon. Top 3 things to achieve Hall of Fame. Top 3 things to achieve 1 crore. Top 3 things to achieve 10 crore. This is just to make it more contextual to what we're doing over here. Okay. So I'm not going to share my example sheet. I want all of you to make a copy of this and start working on this right away. Use your emotion and your creativity. And I'll tell you, this is something that you don't need to share with anybody. This is very personal to you. So go full on. And some of you might have heard of this. Your life is your masterpiece. Okay. You have that paintbrush in your hand, and you can do whatever you want. Just imagine that this activity is going to be like you are literally designing your future and you're designing your life the way that you want. And some of you are there in the FBR. Raji was talking about standards. Okay. So what standards are you setting for yourself? Are your standards your standards? So even when you're doing this, think about if whatever you're entering there, is it coming from you or is it coming based on somebody else's influence on you? So let it be completely unfiltered and true to what you want. Okay. So can I have a commitment from all of you that you will do this before 10:30? I'll not give any extension of time. 10:30, it should all be done. 100% type 100% in the chat box. So how I would like you to do is do one round where you finish everything really fast. Do it fast. Okay. Then you go back second round to add more detail, and then you go third round to add even more detail. Because what I've seen people do is that they spend so much of time in one question that 10:30 is done, and there's like I need more time for more questions. I'm just giving all of you a heads up on this. So I'm going to give you the link right now. Okay. Now one more thing we're going to do is in this hackathon. Okay, let me share the link first. All of you click on that link. You can make a copy. And in this hackathon, we're going to do something really, really special. Okay. So as you know, we have officially activated our community on this platform itself. So before we would be doing everything on Telegram and multiple places, right? So I'm going to be adding a new channel group, and I'm going to be calling it Hackathon. Okay. We're going to add a new channel group. Name it Hackathon. Now in this hackathon, we're going to have a main feed. Okay. On this main feed, I'm going to call this main feed as let me use some icon over here. I'll use a fire icon. Okay. So this is going to be the hackathon. I'll just call it the main feed itself. Okay. I want a better word. Let me think about it. See, this is where I want everybody to participate on anything to do with the hackathon. Okay. So I'm going to just call it. If there's a better name, I'll come about it later. Okay. So now I'm going to be adding only our silver, gold, my diamond members, our quantum members. I'm going to add a silver, Black Friday guys, family access, launchpad guys. Okay. So I'm going to add all of you. I'm going to create this channel. And this feed is only going to be related to the hackathon. Okay, so I'm just going to go and make it active right now. I'm going to customize channel. I'm going to make it members only. Yeah, keep it members only. You'll be able to make posts. You can add photo, video, audio polls. Okay. Don't make any post over there right now. Okay. Maybe I'll just turn it off for now. For now, I'm just going to make the post. Okay. And then here I'm going to be adding the codex number 1. Okay. So I'm going to be adding this particular link, codex 1, which is your personal codex. And I'll give the link to this. And all of you can make a copy of it and use. I'm going to turn off the comment count and commenting, all of that. Okay. Maybe all of you will be able to like this post. So I'll just allow the liking to happen. So all of you, I'm going to share this channel link. We're not going to go on Telegram this time. All of you click on that link and you'll be able to get this. Okay. Click on this, make a copy and use it. I think if I should be able to upload any file, no, I'll just keep it as it is. Okay, we may be stalling Tag Mango because we have like close to 1,000 people in this call. So I know we're going to be giving their servers a tough time for the next few minutes. But I'm going to share the link over here. All of you go ahead and give it a few seconds. It will get back on track. And what I want to do is I'm going to now pause the recording. Now, those of you who are watching a recording of this, just make sure that you complete all the assignments and then you come back. You complete all of that and I'll come back to the next. Okay, it's 10:30. All of you can start wrapping up. And I've not still given all of you the prompts. Okay, so how many of you just answered a version 1 if it's all done? If all of the questions have been answered, just type 100% if it's 100% done. 10:30 p.m. Thank you so much. And I'll run another poll just to find out how many of you finished this task. Yeah. Okay, good. I can see 80-20 happening in this room. Okay. And for those of you who did not finish the task, there'll be a link given below the recording. You can watch it, but you need to first answer this. But we are still not done with the full task. Okay, we're not done with the full task. Okay. So how many of you did this for the first time today? And you had like a breakthrough just entering this. Just type FTBT in the chat box. First time you had a breakthrough going through this. Amazing, amazing. Thank you for sharing. In fact, the real breakthrough is going to come right now. Okay, I'm going to show you what it is. And the task is only half done, but this part of the task is really, really exciting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to ChatGPT. And what I've done is I've designed a specific set of prompts. Okay, let me show you that. Give me a second. It's going to go to this tab. If all of you can see the screen, the codex prompts, just type yes if you can see it. Okay. So what I've done is I have my codex. I actually have written all about me, the 3 things I want. What do I want to be known for? My top 3 values in life, things I want to change in society. I did more than 3. Okay, so I put 3 things: desired net worth, spiritual goals. Okay, where do I see myself living? All of this stuff. Okay, so I've got my entire character traits, everything into this. Okay, so what you got to do is we go to ChatGPT, and I'm going to first copy all of my prompts. I mean, all of my data, all the answers that I've written. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste that. So the first thing what you need to do is go to my codex, and here you just need to copy the first prompt, okay, and enter this text and just replace it with the dash. See, my name is Siddharth Rajshekhar. I want to create a personal codex to remind myself of my true purpose and goals in life. I want this to be written based on the points I've listed in every area of my life. Write a 5,000-word description about Siddharth Rajshekhar. Write in a way that a third person reads as a story of my name. Okay. So you just need to replace this with your name. Okay. Mention here, do not have bullet points. Write in paragraphs like a story that builds into a beautiful, emotionally moving crescendo. Okay. So this is what's going to be the first prompt. And it's writing about me. Where am I? Where am I staying? Okay. So while this is happening, it's basically writing out like a biography of you. Okay. And then once it's done, the next prompt is after you have generated this, I want all of you to copy paste this. Basically, what I've done is I've asked ChatGPT to design 5 affirmations pertaining to that area in my life, like my purpose, my mindset, my health, my learning, my skills, my family, my experiences, basically all around in all the areas of your life. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. There are 110 affirmations that will be generated. Okay. All of you just type crazy in the chat box. So these 110 affirmations, this will not be some generic affirmation that you see on the internet or somebody asks you to do. These are very, very catered to your vision and your life. Okay. And that's why you have to put this prompt after you have generated that. And then once you've done it, the homework for all of you is those 110 affirmations. You need to record it. I'm going to give the prompts. All of you just wait over here. That should just relax. Okay. The homework for you guys is you got to record your affirmations with your own voice. Put some background music if you want. Okay. And you got to listen to it every single day for the next at least 30 to 60 days. So the assignment for all of you, the part of this hackathon, is you're going to listen to your own voice with your own affirmations. Okay. Super, right? Already type super in the chat box. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how the second prompt works. I've just copied my prompt. I've just copy pasted this. I'm going to scroll down. Let's close this. And then I'm just going to just paste those prompts. So based on whatever I wanted. So for example, my affirmations could be, I'm here to redefine the education system and create a new generation of conscious leaders. I'm a beacon of wisdom, igniting the spark of knowledge in every soul I meet. I serve society by spreading peace, progress, and purpose through community-driven learning. I awaken the teacher within every individual and inspire them to lead. I'm the catalyst for bringing back the golden age of conscious living and leadership. So like this, it just goes on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys the prompts, and I'm going to pause the chats now. I'll make sure I put the right link over here. So I want all of you to click on the second link. I'm going to have different music playing now. I'll have a different music playing. And just on that same thread, I mean, when you're going to be using this, go to ChatGPT, paste whatever you have entered, and use this. So when you click on this link, you'll come to a page that looks like this. You just need to copy paste these prompts. Okay. So now the time is 10:37. I'm going to give you time till 10:50, 13 minutes time. Just experience the magic. Okay. We'll be back at 10:50 in 13 minutes. I want all of you to just keep reading your read your affirmations and just soak into your story. The time starts now. Enjoy the music. And when you listen to the music, I want you to feel every single word. Today, this moment is your rebirth. Yeah. So let's start with, I don't want to have some of you come and share. Okay, let's go to Jyoti Rani. So Jyoti, you can just unmute and go ahead and share what was your experience going through this.
Thank you so much. So yes, sir. Actually, in evening, I was just thinking like in the next ad and reels challenge, I will share my experience that.
Yeah, with you. Tell us, what was this experience? What did you discover about you?
I just want to read one sentence from this.
Please read it.
Wait, sir. Actually, I'm.
I know. If it is emotionally, if it has hit you so deep, it's okay. Just soak in that energy. It's okay. Soak in that space.
This is. She set her eyes not just on the stars, but on the galaxies beyond them.
Yes, that's you, and that's you, Jyoti. Your word itself, your name itself means light. Read it. Okay.
Sir, after just getting out of college in July 2024, I just joined the first community at the age of 21, and I'm just 22 right now, and I'm feeling so blessed that every community member that says, Jyoti, you are blessed to be in this field, in this like personality development and all this, and
amazing.
This is something that I'm just
soak it in, Jyoti. Just soak it. We can feel your emotion, and that's who you are. Okay, it's time to step into your light. So more power to you, Jyoti. Thank you so much for sharing, and just be in the zone. All the best to you. All the best. All of you just type MPTY. More power to you, Jyoti. I'm going to Eldo George. Okay, so Eldo, I'm going to spotlight you in audio, and tell us about it. First time.
Siddharth, to be very open, I had a clarity document which I was doing it before.
Okay.
This has actually shifted the way in which the mode in which I was actually aspiring for. The clarity document that I done for the first time was like more or less like a decluttering process.
Okay.
But this was like that the aspiration level. The first one like more or like awareness. The second one was like an aspiration that I come across every day.
Yes.
When detailing into like for example, dreaming of a home that has been built of my own was something that I dream to make it at some other point. But when you even I was making it using ChatGPT to know what would be the name that I could propose for the
home. Yes.
It was like Sacred Heaven. I got it from ChatGPT. I made it like that.
Beautiful.
And truly, I could feel as you mentioned when you were making the personal clarity document. You told that when you're like making the vision of buying a Mercedes Benz, you were writing that you could feel the smell of the leather.
Yeah, I wrote the emotion behind and all the senses. What I could feel. Yeah, sensory.
Yeah, same way, I'm able to sense it up. I don't know how to move about for the next day. It gives an inspiration for me to take up the next days with much higher energies to work more harder to make those steps into reality.
Amazing, Aldo. Super proud of you. And the best part is this is not somebody else's story. It is yours. This is your masterpiece, your life. Yeah. And so now you'll take care of it with so much more. And every day you're going to value the time that you spend, and everything is. And you'll only, in fact, all of you here, you'll move in the direction of whatever aligns with this. Yeah, and that's going to be the power of it. So awesome, Aldo. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah,
I was actually having the first version, and I was actually decluttering my negativities from that particular version document. Right now, it gives me aspiration to move forward.
Exactly. Great, Aldo. Thank you so much for sharing. All of you just type MPTY. More power to you, Aldo. Let's go to Athena next. Athena, you can unmute and you can share what was your experience the first time you did this activity. Go for it.
Hi, Sid. Thanks so much.
We can hear you, but it's a little soft, a little louder. You can come on. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Sid, for this opportunity. I am in tears. I love the way my story has been, written by ChatGPT. Of course, my prompts were what I wanted, but it's so beautifully come out. I'm all emotional, and I actually feel that this is so possible now.
It's possible,
Right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels so much real. Thank you so much for that.
Fantastic, Athena. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, may everything whatever has ChatGPT has written, may it manifest. And it is going to manifest. Yeah. All the best to you. Thank you so much. All the best. And I'll just have one more. Let's go to Ravi Rao. So Ravi Rao, go for it. What would you like to share, Ravi? First
Hi,
time?
Siddharth. Yeah, first
Yes.
time, and it was really, really, very, kind of emotional also for me in a way.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's deep. It's deep. I cannot really express, but then it is everything you really aspire, and and sometimes it is really what I want to really do. It's from deep within, and yeah, amazing stuff. And
Awesome,
thank you, Siddharth. I mean, you are magic, seriously, and everybody like who has come on, given their share. And some people are very, very lucky to be in in ILH even at a young age, at 16, 17, 19. I mean, they have so much of potential. And Siddharth, thank you very much for what
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
Thanks
and
a lot. Thank you.
All the best to you. All just type MPTY more power to you, Ravi. And on that note, I also want to say that we're working with a bunch of teens now, around 100 of them. And the first thing that we got all the teens to do is work on this. Just imagine if a teen just works on this, they're going to literally save possibly 20 years of their life figuring things out, and they'll have their own journey. But I think this kind of clarity is something that every young generation should do. So if you have a family, I mean, if you have kids, please do this activity with them later over the weekend. Your spouse, your kids, make each of your children write, and then let the entire family have a codex for each, and then you exchange your codex notes with each other and align your family's vision. I think that's the best thing that any one of you can do for your families, especially if you have children and stuff. Okay, awesome. So now that we have covered this, we have just done the first part. And by the way, the night is still young. How's the energy in the room on a scale of 1 to 10? All of you can just type in the chat box. How's the energy? We started at 8 p.m., but I know I made you do this activity, and now the energy, and I know all of you are buzzing, and I told you this that you're not going to sleep tonight. Okay, the night is still young. We're still not done with this mission. Okay, this is just the foundation. Now, why did I make all of you do this? Is because when your self-concept shifts, then everything shifts. So all these years you might have been beating yourself down. I'm not good enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. Or I'm not qualified yet. I'm not there yet. Or you may have all these different things. But once you start reprogramming, or this is more like your what do I call, like a software upgrade of your Windows 95 software that is still running your system. How many of you here feel that your operating system till this point, before this point, was still Windows 95? Type me in the chat box. Or Windows XP, which is kind of still really out there. Or some of you are saying you're an MS-DOS, you're still in DOS world. Okay, and now we got to come to the latest version, right? So what this does is it raises your self-concept. In the beginning, also when you read those lines, you're like, wow, is this really me? You start to question it. And then because some of those things have still not come true, right? It is still in the making. But I want to share with you a very powerful analogy and example of how practically this is going to impact you. Can I share that? Type BIO in the chat box. Okay, how practically this is going to impact you. So some of you you've heard me share this example before. I'm going to say it once more. So my son and I, we were about to catch a flight. Okay, I'll just pause the chats and I'll come to that later. Okay, so Rishabh, my elder son, and we were going to catch a flight, and halfway towards the airport, I realized that I forgot his ID proof. I had my ID proof, but I did not have his ID proof. If we turn back, we miss the flight. If we go to the airport, I'm not sure if he'll be able to make it. So luckily at that point, I had the presence of mind. I told the cab driver, please pull over in any print shop nearby so I can take a printout of the Aadhaar card, which is my mailbox. So I went there. Luckily, within a few minutes, he found a print shop. I went there, logged into my account, my email ID. I searched for Aadhaar. I found his Aadhaar. I had a backup, and then I took his printout. Went to the airport. We made it on time. We got into the flight, and he was let in. Okay, so everything worked out. But here's the thing: from the time I took the printout, came back to the cab, on the way to the airport, as I was going to the airport, I saw at least 10 other print shops, 10 to at least 15 other print shops. I saw it. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you all of this question. If I had taken my son's Aadhaar card when I'd left home, would I have seen those 10 other print shops on the way to the airport? Never, right? Now, what is this called? Some of you are already experts in this. What is it called? RAS. Okay, I'll just type RAS. It's called the reticular activation system. Okay. So when you have this kind of a clarity on what you want from your life, and once you start reprogramming your mind with the affirmations that is heard in your own voice every single day, it is like how when I saw those print shops, because I had focused on taking a printout, so I saw the print shops. So now because you are focused on what kind of a house you want to live, what kind of a lifestyle you want to live, where do you want to be, how do you want to serve, once this is set in, right, the people, the resources, the opportunities are right in front of you. And you grab those opportunities when you see it, when it aligns. Because one who does not know what they do not know, that's a serious problem. Now, all of you know what you want, so you'll be able to get it. So for how many of you this was a bulb on, just type BO in the chat box. Okay. So how this is going to practically impact you and your life from this moment on is that you will start seeing opportunities and things that you would have never seen before because of this level of clarity. So now I'm going to decode the next part. Now, what are you supposed to do with this? You've defined your life, you've designed your codex. Now you want to bring it to life. Now, how do you bring it to life is, I want all of you to take a printout only of this personal codex. I want you to record your affirmation with your own voice and read and listen to this every single day for the next 30, 60, 90 days, whatever you do. But the main thing is, in this hackathon main group that we have actually created now on the main feed, within the next 48 hours, before we meet on Thursday, I want all of you to take a selfie picture or ask somebody to take a picture of you holding your codex. I don't want you to take just a codex, not a digital copy. It should be an actual physical copy and a hard copy. It's not a soft copy, okay? Because it's very important, okay? We can always have different versions. So how many of you are going to do this 100% before Thursday night? Type 100% in the chat box. So today, tomorrow, you can just put it all into a Word file document, make it into a PDF, go to any of your print shops and tell them that I want a hardbound copy. Or where I got this done is I went to one photography lab where they do this marriage photography, okay? And in the marriage photography, you have all these candid photographies, these albums for photographs, right? So my pages inside, it is actually a photography pages. It is untearable. It does not tear. Okay, so you can go to any of your nearby photography shops and you can do it. Okay, and cover page you can get it designed. I just put the tree of life. I just like that symbolically. I use a tree of life. You can use whatever design you want. I want all of you to get creative on this and get it done. Okay. Yes, those of you who've already done a codex, you can do it in your do another version also if you want. Okay. So the assignment for all of you is print out hardbound copy, take a picture and post it before Thursday night. If you do it tomorrow also you can do it, but before Thursday night. Okay. All of you clear? All of you just type yes boss in the chat box. Yes boss, let's do it. Okay, because this will completely change your life and you can read it open every morning. You can read it, or once or twice in a week you can read it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to decode how is this going to actually work. How are you going to turn your message into a moment? I'm going to like bring down to the focus elements. Okay, so there are 3 stages. The first stage is awareness. Now once you start reading your codex, especially now during the course of the next 60 days in the hackathon, I want you to be more aware of where your mind is going, your body, space, soul, diet. I'm going to just break it down. Number one is in your mind. Okay, so when it comes to mindset, I would like all of you to listen to the strangest secret in the world every single day. 2 is write your goals 2 pages every single day and read the codex affirmations or listen to your affirmations for 10 minutes per day. So this is going to be like a 20-minute to 30-minute activity every single day, which I wanted to intensify in the beginning. For me, in 2018, when I was transitioning and I was really launching my business, I really intensified the strangest secret. I used to listen to it for twice in a day, 90 days without a break. My operating system, everything got rewired. Okay, so it is extremely powerful. Next is body. I want all of you to take care of yourselves. Eat right, have more water, exercise, walking, whatever you do, and get good sleep. Okay, I'm not here to tell you to hustle, work 18, 24, 20 hours a day, get 4 hours sleep. No, your body is the instrument for you to do the work. So especially now you're in this phase where you're literally redefining yourself, you're reinventing yourself. I want you to take care of yourself. Okay, so can I have a commitment from all of you that you will take care of your body and monitor all the inputs that are getting into your body? Yes, type yes in the chat box. Even including the information inputs. Don't just randomly watch all kinds of stuff because now you're going through a metamorphosis. You're going from maybe possibly from caterpillar to a cocoon. Okay, there's going to be a point where you'll feel that there's so much to do when you're in the cocoon, then slowly become a butterfly. So this is a part of the process. And then space. See if you can declutter your physical space. Anybody here feel that it is high time that you clean your house? Type I in the chat box. Type I in the chat box. Use this time because when you shift your physical space, even your mental space, it shifts. And I've also chatted this before. If I go to a house and if I'm able to see there's a lot of junk and there's a lot of clutter and everything, I know that there's a lot of emotional junk also in that house because your emotional junk is represented in the physical junk that is there. So the best way to shortcut it is when you declutter your physical space, even your mental space gets decluttered. Suddenly you'll be wondering, why am I feeling so peaceful? Why am I feeling so calm? So I want all of you to just work on this. Okay. Now this has nothing to do with coaching, but it has everything to do with coaching. It has everything to do with building a movement. So let's start with home. Declutter your digital space, your notifications, delete social media apps, unsubscribe, clean up your work machine. And even if you have a social media app, remove all the notifications. I have Instagram back on my phone after a long time. I never had it on my phone. Now since I'm doing the Game of Change, movie promotions, all of that stuff, but I've removed all notifications. I don't want to keep the pop-ups happening all the time. And emotional space. People who are not aligned with your vision, people who are not contributing to your vision, have your arm's distance. You don't have to be rude or anything like that, but just make sure that you are surrounding yourself with people who are aligned to your goals and your vision. Okay. So how many of you here feel that it is high time that you tighten your boundaries a little bit more so that you are protecting yourself and your vision and your goals? Yeah, just type HT in the chat box. If it's high time that you need to draw the boundaries and not let anybody just intrude your space, because only then you'll be able to create something. Okay. Then soul, whatever religion path process that you follow, meditation, prayer, connection, love, abundance, service, whatever is the path that whatever way that you can connect internally to the divine, to our creator, to God, consciousness, see if you can do that. Because from there is where you're going to get your next level of ideas. Okay. Have any of you experienced this where you use ChatGPT for a lot of stuff, it gave you some good answers, but then when you went into UGPT, your intuitive intelligence, you actually got the best answers from there. Type BT in the chat box if you've been there. You've experienced that magic. Yeah. So always go back inwards. And then diet. I'm not talking about food diet here. Information. I would like all of you to consume, check out my podcast. Let me just pause the chats and I'll give you the link. I have more than 250 something episodes of podcasts where I've answered more than many questions, okay, on all kinds of questions that you may have. And I'm really proud of some of the podcasts that I've done. Like within 8 minutes, 7 minutes, I've been able to like crack and give like very detailed, precise information. So instead of consuming random stuff on the internet, at least for the next 60 days, consume a podcast a day, listen to my Hall of Fame interview or anything on my YouTube channel. Those of you who are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, just there's a lot of material over there that's freely available for, especially the freedom talks and everything else. You can just start with one talk per day instead of a TEDx talk. You can do a freedom talk, and just follow the pace of the hackathon. Don't rush too much. Don't go too fast. Okay. So when you are able to be mindful of these 5 dimensions: mind, body, space, soul, diet, and then when you're going, it's going to heighten your awareness. That will take you to the stage 2 is when creation. Okay. So how does creation work? Is it all starts with your thoughts. Okay. Have any of you heard of this thought? I mean, have you heard of this quote? You sow a thought, you reap an action. You sow an action, you reap a habit. You sow a habit, you reap a character. You sow a character, you reap your destiny. Now, how many of you have heard of this before? Just type yes or no in the chat box. Start with a thought. Sow a thought, you reap an action. Sow an action, you reap a habit. Sow a habit, you reap a character. Your character is built on your habits. And then you sow your character, then you reap your destiny. So it all begins with our thoughts. Okay, I think it's an Emerson quote. So how creation works, especially when you're aware and when you're operating from that space, it's all, as I mentioned before, we are all vibrating beings. We can, when let me put it this way: radio. A radio can receive waves information. Okay, so suppose I'm tuning into 93.4 or whatever FM, right? We can't see the waves, but the waves are able to come into that device, and the device is able to reproduce music or reproduce some sound or something because it's able to capture the information that is there in the waves. Okay. Now, similarly, when we have this heightened awareness and we operate in that mode, we will start to receive information from ether, from somewhere, which is going to be from a higher plane. Okay. Now, I do not know how to decode it, but I can only tell you this: that the ideas that you will get when you're in this zone will be the ideas that is going to take you to that next level of growth. Okay. Does this make sense? Type MS in the chat box. So how does it work? Is in this awareness, your thoughts will, the more you think about what you want, the more you write your goals, the more you focus on your codex, the more you're expanding your vision, the more you're listening to your affirmations, your brain frequency will start to shift. Okay. Now, when the brain frequency shifts, you start to get ideas from somewhere, from ether, from someplace. And then the key here is speed of implementation. Like sometimes you get an idea, but you say, I'll do it later, but it'll evaporate. Don't let it evaporate. It could be even the smallest whispers. Those small whispers or the small ideas is what actually builds up into your big business. Okay. So this is the way I like to decode how practical application and manifestation, how does happen. Manifestation, like it's not like movie The Secret where you just visualize, but you don't do anything about it. The other part is important. It's not about law of attraction, it's law of action also that's important. And even our mentor Blair, he really spoke about that according to physics, what is law of attraction? You know what his definition was? It is not like attracts like. It's big attracts small. Okay? All of it have big attracts small. The bigger you get internally, the more it's like the sun, right? When you're like the sun, all the planets go around the sun. It is gravity. It's a gravitational pull. So how do you create a gravitational pull? Is by working on your own thoughts, your own frequency, your own game. Okay. So for how many of you this was a bulb on moment? Just type BO in the chat box. And if you're bulb on, it is not like attracts like. It's like sometimes we get too much into the movie The Secret and we feel okay, everything's going to come to me, but it's not going to come just like that. There's a method behind it, and the way I decode it is this: it starts with awareness, then comes your thoughts, frequency, ideas. So when you are taking action based on thoughts that are coming from a space of abundance, then it'll be progress. So in other words, if it is desperation, it's not going to get you the bigger result. But when it's inspiration, then it's going to take you there. Okay. So then how does manifestation happen? There are multiple, this is my definition. Okay. So based on whatever I've learned in all the different books so far, I know many of you here are like already experts in this topic. Okay. I'm not going to go deep into it, but the way I look at it is it all begins with belief. So once your thoughts are really intensified, when you're writing your goals, reading your codex, your belief in yourself increases, your belief in everything else increases. And then you start to see a shift in your orbit. Your patterns will start to shift. Your whole orbit will start to shift. Now, have any of you experienced this after coming to ILH? If you've been around for a while, you suddenly notice that your friend circle has changed, your habits have changed, and what you used to really like, maybe watching the news or binging on TV or something like that, like now you have a different, you don't like those things anymore. Now that is an indication that you have evolved. Okay, you don't go back to the old ways. Like even I still have my old friends, college, school, all that. I go catch up with them, but it's just when we meet once in a while. But I don't engage in that level of conversation that I used to have during college days because I've evolved. Okay, I think all of you are experiencing that. So you'll experience these pattern shifts, and that's perfectly fine. And along with this, if you can tap into higher consciousness, again, whichever religion path process that you follow, mosque, church, gurudwara, temples, like whichever place where you go, higher energy centers, you're doing some kind of charity giving, that's also going to help you. It's going to enable you to do higher work. Every time I go to a temple or a higher place, the only thing I'm asking is, I don't go with a shopping list. Okay, this is what I want, this is what I want. Okay, I don't go with a shopping list. It's not a shopping place. Okay, but it's more of asking that question is how can I be of service, or how can I serve you, how can I build a deeper connection with you, or how can please enable me to be a channel to do the work that I can do. So when you have this kind of a mindset in your prayerful mode, you'll get some amazing ideas. Okay, and I tell you, some of the best ideas, whatever you're experiencing in ILH, all come from that space. Okay, And now, does it all make sense? Type MS in the chat box. Like what you're seeing in ILH now after 7 years of doing this, it's all coming from that space. It's not coming from a space of abundance, of desperation, or trying to prove to anyone, or it's none of those emotions are there. Okay, it's only coming from a space of service, contribution, and even there are setbacks in business, all of that, going back to that zone. Okay, so I was just contemplating on one more thought that I would like all of you to think deeply about. Okay. This is one of the bulb on moments that I had when I was discussing with my wife and with my kids. We were just discussing on something in the night, and this just popped up. 4D. There are 4Ds. All of you just type 4D in the chat box. And even when you're running this business, I want you to think about this. The first D is disconnection. Disconnection. And so the first line of the statement I want to make is, the more you're disconnected with yourself, the more desperate you will be to get whatever you want. Okay. Have any of you relate with this? Type me in the chat box. Like, was there a point in your life where you are so disconnected with yourself that you wanted to do everything to prove your worth to others, and then it started to go into a mode of desperation, and that never served? Okay. So the same applies even in a relationship. Let's say if you're disconnected with your partner, there's going to be desperation in the relationship. If you're disconnected with your community, there's going to be desperation in that connection. You want to really do more and more because there's a disconnection happening. If you're disconnected with the creator, with God, with the consciousness, then there's going to be desperation in our way we operate. Okay. Or we want to just chase the shiny things. Okay. Now let's look at the other side. The third D is deep connection. So all of you type deep connection. Yes. Or just type DC in the chat box if you don't want to type the whole word. When you have deep connection, then you experience detachment. Now it may seem very different, but let me give you an example. Okay. If you are deeply connected with your vision and your mission, and you're really deeply connected with yourself, you actually detach yourself from other people's ideologies. You don't care because you're so deeply connected. Even in a relationship, let's say you and your spouse, you have such a deep connection. That detachment is like, it's the opposite of desperation. For example, if you're so deeply connected with your spouse, you know that they've got your back. You don't have to look into their eyes and say, I love you and all of that stuff. You know, and they know that, and you know, both of you are totally in sync, and there's a sense of freedom over there. Okay. How many of you can relate with this? Just type me in the chat box. And the same even when it comes to business. When you're truly deeply connected with yourself, you just know that your community has got your back. You don't have to be desperate for anything. Same even with sales. When you're so deeply connected to your mission and your business, what it's doing, you'll be detached to the outcomes. But outcomes will automatically happen. So for how many of you this was a bulb on? Type B in the chat box. So disconnection equals desperation, or disconnection leads to desperation. Deep connection leads to detachment. And I just want to decode this because what we're doing here is we are trying to do this at all levels, at a personal level, at an interpersonal level, at a community level, at a universal consciousness level. Okay. So why am I sharing this with all of you is let these all be just a few principles that you consciously operate as you're building this business. Because I look at the event, what you have done today, as a seed that I've planted in all of your minds and your core on how to build this business. Okay, because the technology systems, all that's the part that will unfold later. But why are you doing your business? What is the bigger purpose? How are you operating as a person? And what is the thought process? I just want to get that software right before we go into hardware. Okay, if that makes sense, I'll be type MS in the chat box. Yeah, what I've been doing for the last 3 hours is just a software debugging and reprogramming what we're doing over here. Okay, those of you who are techies, you'll be able to relate with this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift into the next game. Next part of today's the mission one is teams. So we're going to be moving to something called as Super 30 teams. Instead of just 10 people per team, we're going to have 30 people in a team. We're going to make it bigger this time. Another experiment to see how it goes. And this time we will not have teams on WhatsApp or anything like that. We're going to put all of you into teams within our mobile application of ILH itself. Okay, because we've just launched our social network and our community. And basically what I'm going to do is, let me just share my screen. We have the hackathon main feed here, right? We have the main feed over here. So what we'll be doing is we'll be creating a badge which will have a common icon, and we'll be creating multiple teams. So the first step is you need to fill an application form. And if you want to be a part of a team, if you're Freedom Finisher, Hall of Fame, 1 crore, not Freedom Finisher, doesn't matter. All of you will be in one team. And what will happen is once you're in a part of the team, each team will have 3 captains. Okay, and I'll be selecting the captains from the previous groups and the previous Freedom Finishers who are diamond members. And I'll give all of you the more detailed guidelines in the next call, which is going to be on Thursday. Today you'll fill the application form. And the whole goal of the team is that every time I finish a mission or a hackathon, you guys can huddle up as a team to make sure that you finish it. Okay. So below this main feed, under this hackathon, I'm going to be having all the teams, and we will be assigning you to the groups. Just like, for example, let's say we have for the diamond members, you have the Star Hive over here. So the Star Hive, these guys, it's just a messenger. It is not a news feed. It is just a message archive here. Like there's a lot of interaction happening over here, just like how WhatsApp thread is, and there are also threads. So for example, if I have to go and reply to say CA Gopal Singh Negi, I can just go and reply to the thread to the specific point that he's asking. And so basically there can be multiple threads within the same section over here. So if all of you find this super, all of you just type super in the chat box. I'm going to give you the form just now. Okay, just give me a second. So how it's going to work is each team will have 30 members, 3 captains. Existing finisher, diamond member will be the captain. Teams will be updated inside our new iLedge community. Third is each team needs to huddle every week and complete the tasks. So you guys can decide, all the captains can decide. So I'll give you more detailed guidelines in the next call. And whenever you guys huddle, let's keep it to 30, 60 minutes, the weekly huddle. And then captains need to update weekly in the new iLedge community. So every time you have a huddle, let's say this is going to be your team. Inside this team, you can take a picture and you can post a picture of your Zoom huddle that you're having with your team, how many people were there. It becomes a lot of fun. We just want to do more in a team to see how the engagement is this time. And take a group pic, share the status. And each team member needs to create one piece of content every single day. So I'll come to that in the next mission. But I want all the teams to encourage each other to create content, to post on Instagram, to push each other to make it all happen. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the application form link for the teams. And the application form will look like this. Enter your full name. Enter the registered email ID with which you're registered for iLedge. Because if you're not putting the registered email ID, you'll not be a part of the team. Okay. Because we are using only the email ID which we've used to purchase. If all of you got that, just type GT in the chat box. Okay. And then we have your, you need to enter your mobile number, your membership level, which location, country, state, city, just let us know. And we will be, as much as possible, allocating all of you into teams where you're all from the same city. So even if you guys want to do a hangout or a meetup offline in your city, you can do that. Okay. And it'll get mixed up because there are people from all smaller cities also. Then what is your macro niche? Is this your first hackathon? And you commit to completing all 9 missions before 30th of June. And are you willing to be a team player to inspire your entire team to win under the guidance of your facilitator? So who is going to be the facilitator? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this link. We'll have some music playing I'm going to keep this form open only for 10 minutes, 11:30 to 11:40. Okay, 11:40, I'll be closing this form. Okay, and let me share that link right now with all of you. Give me a second. I'm just going to copy this link. And your time starts now. Click on that link. And I'll have some music playing just for the next 10 minutes. Okay, 11:40 we are back. I'll also turn on the attendance. All of you can mark your attendance during this time. Enjoy the music. And when we're back, I will tell you what will be the next steps. Let's get into some house music now. Yeah. Record your affirmations with your own. Yeah. You can mark your attendance, type done in the chat box or DDD done. Yes. And from what I can see, we've got now around 520 people in the teams now, which is crazy. And we're going to have around 30 people per team. So we're going to be having how many teams? So we'll probably around 20 teams. Okay. Yeah. We'll be adding around 20 teams in total. So instead of having many teams, you're going to have fewer teams, but more members in teams, more energy in the team. So we'll see how it goes. Okay. So attendance link. Let me share the attendance link for those of you who did not mark your attendance. Let me check. Yeah. You can mark your attendance right on the feed itself. Okay, when you go to the community feed on the top, you should be able to see the attendance. So just click on that link. Okay. And now what I want to do is, as we come to the end of this hackathon mission 1, I'm going to give you the homework. So on the main feed, I've also shared the homework for hackathon mission 1. Okay. And all of you will be able to join this main feed. Also, all of you will get access. If you're a silver, gold, diamond member, if you've made the payment, you'll have by default, you'll have access in this. Okay. Even those of you who've been nominated by other members, let's say if you're Angel Mentor program, somebody would have introduced you to our community. You'll also be able to get access to this. Now, the main thing is what are the things to complete? Let me show it on my mind map. First thing is complete the My Freedom Codex course. So whatever I've shared today is a part of My Freedom Codex course. But in that course, I also cover a little bit about the having a perfect day and some other additional stuff you can add into that. Record your affirmations with your own voice. Okay, your own voice. And get your codex printed by 8th May, Thursday. And post a selfie holding your codex and post it inside the hackathon channel. So we have this hackathon channel here. Now I think you guys should be able to post. Now I'm going to turn on this feature. So I'm going to turn on the feature, and you all will be able to post. Okay. So now you'll all be able to post, but please post only after you have taken the printout. Now, what I would like all of you guys to do is, in the time that we have pretty much come to the end of this hackathon mission. If all of you are clear on all the actions, you can just type clear in the chat box. You're clear on all the action steps that you need to take between today and Thursday. Thursday, when we come back, we're going to get straight into niche clarity, curriculum design. We're going to get into the core digital coaching. Nice. So I have like 2 announcements to make and then 1 action for all of you. The action is we have an introduction channel over here. So we're going to be slowly migrating from Mighty Networks into this platform because now we've added all the channels over here. I had added a lot of city-based channels, but I've removed it for now until we build some solid strategy around that. So if all of you can see this, all updates from my side, I'll be sharing over here. Any special updates from my side. Introductions, what I would like all of you to do is take a picture. Like for example, Arpita just posted a picture, her name, where is she from, what is her topic, and why did she join ILH? She's given her reason. So I would like all of you to post pictures of yourself as and when you come in, and so that we get to introduce, you get to see other members and also respond back to each other's posts. Okay, so you can do that time when you're going to be playing the music later. So we have an accountability system that used to be happening in the other group. So we have moved it over here. So it's a very straightforward. Anyone wants an accountability partner, you can just post over here. And please don't share any links like this. I'm just going to delete this. No sharing links in the group. Introduce yourself, you're an accountability partner, and you can start to find accountability partners within this platform itself. Okay. And you can also go to support forum. So if you have any questions on any things, you can post your question over here, and my team will answer, or fellow members can answer each other, and you can just get all of your answers. So just any question on any topic that works. We have a champions group here. So for example, if you're a freedom finisher, by default, you'll be able to be a part of this group. In case you're not able to see champions, that means you're not yet a champion in the community. So I've created a space where all the freedom finishers can share messages. They can be in touch. Same with Hall of Fame achievers. Same with 1 crore champions, and you have a 10 crore champion group also. Okay, here the guys need to start to get activated. And then if you're a diamond member, we have a separate space only for all the diamond members. So you guys can have your interaction over here. Then we have the 4 hives: Star Hive, Transformer Hive, Warrior Hive, and the Avengers Hive. So it'll all be badge based. So for this hackathon, what we'll be doing is by the next mission, which is on Thursday, you will get to know under the main feed, we'll have all of the team names, and you'll know which team you're a part of. So you'll be able to see only main feed and your team. As an admin, I'll be able to see all the teams along with the main feed. Okay. So this is going to be set up, and the main feed will be more, the team will be more like a chat-based thing, like what I mentioned. So it'll be good for all of you to interact with each other in the chat. So basically, there's no need of Telegram, there's no need of WhatsApp. Everything is native within our ILH app itself. Okay. So all of you just type super cool in the chat box. Yes. That's really cool. So I have a couple of announcements to make. The first and most important announcement is regarding the movie. Okay. Now, how many of you here have not yet bought tickets for Game of Change? Type NY in the chat box. This is we're only going to be playing this movie only in the 3 cities, in Chennai, Mumbai, and Hyderabad, in the 3 movie hubs. We're expecting more than 100 press in each of these cities. And those of you who do not know about this, I'm just going to tell you that it took me 18 months to produce a movie, like a docufiction, which is going to be in the PVR theaters. Okay. And we were supposed to come to Delhi and Pune and Kolkata and Ahmedabad, but we have paused it right now because logistically we felt it is better for us to just focus on the 3 cities and fill it up with maximum number of people instead of having multiple shows in multiple cities. So I'm going to share the link now. I want all of you, anybody here who's not bought your tickets, we have planned it in such a way where you can fly, even if you're in a different city, right? You can fly in the morning and fly out that same night. Okay. And I'm going to share this link. So I would not be asking for your support unless I really need it. I'll tell you, Mumbai is nearly filled. Chennai and Hyderabad, there's still some tickets that are left. So I want all of you guys, I need every single one of your support, because this is not just a movie about ILH or what I'm doing. It is a movie about how we are going to redefine education by rebirthing that spirit of Nalanda University. Okay. So we got a really good director, music, everything got it done really well. We just had that the launch event last week, pre-launch event. So those of you who are brand new, just book your tickets and come. Mumbai is nearly full. We may not have so much of space. So just when you click on book tickets, we are in Chennai on 12th May, Satyam Cinemas. The movie will be only for 1 hour. It's a 1 hour docufiction. Then we'll have a keynote, and press will be there. There'll be some Q&A, and there's going to be open networking for all the people who are going to be coming. And then Hyderabad is on 14th in RK Cineplex. In Mumbai, in PVR in Juhu, it'll be a mega style, just like how Bollywood movies are released, we are doing the similar kind of setup. Okay. So you guys, when you're there, you'll know how it happens. I mean, I don't know how it happens, but since I'm working with a producer who's launched 3,000 movies, it is going to be crazy. So we have 2 tickets. We have like a silver and we have a gold ticket category over here. The gold ticket category, you'll be getting a Game of Change, a memorabilia, like a memento that's going to be, because you'll be a part of history. So just click on book your ticket, choose the location, date. The show's at 12 p.m. So all of you can come at 11 a.m. 12 to 1 movie watching, then 1 to 2 will be the press, and then 2 p.m. onwards, it's just open networking, and you guys can leave after that. So you've given all of the details over here. Okay, so since it's not just a movie event, it's also like a meetup. Consider this to be like a meetup event in ILH, but it's going to be a movie watching meetup, and all members from all over the place are coming. So I don't want any of you to miss out on this, because we will not be screening this after this, because our bigger plan is after the press release and all of the things that we do, we are getting all the 3 movie hubs, all the movie media guys from Chennai, movie media guys from Hyderabad, movie media guys from Bollywood. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they have some good reviews about this. But more importantly is you want to take this from here to OTT. Hopefully Netflix, Amazon Prime, and other things. So we want to keep it on those platforms later. But this kind of a 5.1 experience in a theater, you'll only get to see it once. So all of you, please buy your tickets, and I need your support on this. Okay, so that's the first announcement. Second announcement is Let me just look at to my list. Anything else that I missed out? Yeah, another announcement I want to share is to make life easy for especially the new members or members who are coming back after a long time. What I've done is I have numbered all of my courses. Okay, so if you can see here, if you're a new member, this is the exact sequence in which you need to complete the course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So, and then there are some courses which you can just do it on the fly. Even in gold, I have numbered the courses in that same sequence and order. And then even in a diamond level, I have numbered the courses. So that's just another update I wanted to share just to make life easy for you guys. Otherwise, sometimes you get lost in, okay, what should I do first? What should I do next? Even though it's there in my path, but it is not visibly there. So thanks to Praveen, I think in the last FBR, he shared that as an idea. I just picked it up and we have put that in into our system as well. Okay. So with that, I just want to say that we have come to the end of this hackathon mission. Let me just stop the recording right now. My vision for 2020